morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever you watch this episode. Welcome to the Cinema Asylum podcast. I am John Thompson. I am the action and animation expert.
I am Dylan. I am one of the two superhero and sci-fi experts.
I am Garrett Russell. I am the Indian drama expert.
I'm Paul Allen. I'm the horror expert who also had no idea which order we were going to go.
And saving the best for last, I am Matthew, the other superhero and sci-fi expert.
I was about to ask if you were going to say all this and rock,
I'm Dylan, by the
way.
We totally rehearsed this, by the way.
But anyway.
This went according to plan.
Yes.
100%.
But welcome to another fun episode, which is going to be a fun one. Today is 90s Blockbusters.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit different.
Yep.
And I told, you guys don't know, I told Garrett and Paul, one of the next episodes coming up in the next few weeks, classic horror movies. 50s plus years old.
Let's go!
So does this count like the creature features?
Yes.
Okay.
Universal monsters, stuff like that.
Let's go!
I'm going to be very happy.
It's going to be great.
I know
John's
you
going to be
will.
like, I'm so lost.
Oh man, that means I have to do a rewatch.
Now we should, because classic can mean so many different things. We should go by a certain decade. Like
That's why I said
50s.
50 plus years old.
So
Anything before like the 70s.
okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. This is going to be a lot of fun.
That's going to be great.
Paul, you said you had some Scream 7 news you wanted to drop real quick?
I do. Obviously, this is all speculation. We don't want to call it news until either Paramount or someone related drops it.
And we
But
should probably say real quick, the neighbor's having a party, so if you hear background noise,
Yeah.
it's not us.
yes,
We can't do anything about it.
I mean, it is recording on early Memorial Day, so
Yeah.
there you go.
What, you guys aren't bumping your cars right now?
No.
no.
Hold on, I gotta go.
I had my
Gotta turn my
Memorial Day
car on.
with my family yesterday, so.
So the word on the block for Scream 7 is that they're going to be doing a time jump to feature Sydney's kids.
Oh.
Okay.
And it's also, and here's the part that's going to probably piss a lot of people off.
Uh-oh.
Start of a new trilogy.
Oh, no!
So here's my thoughts on that, and I'll make it quick because I know that we have other things to discuss this episode. Obviously, I think that including Sydney again is okay. Featuring her kids, considering we know now that she's a mom because of Scream 5. Figured that was going to happen. There's some rumors going around as to who could play at least one of her kids. Actually, the main girl in Megan is the current rumor.
I literally thought, because she's really big, right? Madeline McGraw. Yeah. Or no, that's Violet. That's
McGraw.
Violet McGraw.
Yeah.
Either of the McGraw sisters.
What if they both did?
I'm sure
That
they
would be
could.
amazing. But the part that I would probably agree with the contention for is going to be the new trilogy, because that obviously means we're not getting a proper conclusion to Sam and Tara.
But you knew that was coming.
Yeah, I mean, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
unfortunate.
Ever since November.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I what I will say is that my hope is that eventually we do revisit that storyline. It's probably not going to happen for a while, if ever.
When times aren't so controversial.
Yeah.
Just say that.
Yeah. I want to be cautiously optimistic. I hope that the movie does well, but I hope that it's also a lesson learned that perhaps we should not screw over our main star.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is
Or
just...
give them warning next time. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Well, maybe they. I don't know all the. We don't know all the details. Maybe they did warn her and they did. She didn't back down. But I don't know. It just seems very sketchy to me.
You can
Yeah.
Seem very short-sighted.
Yeah.
You can only see what you see. Like, you don't
Yeah.
know what goes on
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So this is just speculation,
Yes.
right?
There's
Yeah,
nothing confirmed, yeah.
Okay.
And the thing about the Scream movies is they're known to mislead.
Oh, I know.
You know, because and a large part of that is because they had that problem very early on in the franchise. You know, where people were leaking scripts and scenes, and so like they do mislead sometimes. So we just simply don't know.
Yeah.
You know, we have a pretty good idea of what might be in the movie. You know,
True.
yeah. That's all I'll say on that. Because if it does come true, I don't want it to be a spoiler.
Yeah.
And I've also seen just so much hatred for Nev Campbell. For like, she didn't cause any of this. Like,
No.
No.
no, this was all spyglass.
Yes.
This has nothing. Nev Campbell got hired on to do another job. She did not. She did not cause any of this chaos over there.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
don't blame. There's so much blame on like social media,
Yeah.
and especially to people who are just caught in the crossfire in this whole situation.
so-
I mean, with
Yeah.
Nev Campbell, it's like the same thing as like going to McDonald's and hating the cashier because they don't pay people enough.
Or people getting mad at like David Cornsweat.
yeah.
It's like over Henry Cavill. Just shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
So what have we seen this week, guys?
Can I usually don't like to go first, but I would like to because I fucked up last time and forgot a movie.
Do it now.
Okay. Please do.
Is there anyone who does want to go before me?
I'm going last. So
Okay.
You go right ahead, buddy.
So I'm going to start with the fact that I saw Tarot.
how was that?
I
Oh, boy.
didn't despise it.
Okay.
Terrible.
Nah, that's
You know what?
actually
I actually like that.
that's
That
the
was
most
good.
like that's the highest praise I've heard from anyone who's seen that movie.
Yeah. That's a
366.
good one because that's strike 2 on Sony. First man and women out there. Strike 2 on that one.
Have you seen it, John?
No, and I'm
All
not
right,
gonna, and
then
I'm not
there's
even gonna watch it.
Continue. Paul.
Okay, so here's what I'll say, and I will say as well spoiler review. Mostly because I don't think any of our audience is probably going to see it.
Nope.
So Tarot, it's a horror film that stars Jacob Batalon, who plays Ned in the newer Spider-Man movies. The concept is really cool. It's been done to varying degrees in the past. You know, they do a tarot card reading, and then the cards essentially come to life. The different characters on the cards.
Yeah.
I thought the creature designs were actually pretty cool. They could have been better. They could have been worse. The Fool was probably my favorite design.
Okay.
The others, I will say the faces looked quite similar amongst the designs, which I don't know if that's to symbolize that all of that it was the same demon, so to speak. The performances were okay, but the characters did not have any chemistry together at all. They did not work well together, and that may not necessarily be any of the actors' faults. Their writing was not that great. The writing could have been so much better. The directing was okay. I thought the directors did okay. The writing was the worst part. I don't want to hate on it too much because I think that it has potential if they move forward with a second movie. But I think I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5. I can't remember.
It's like a 7.
I feel like I would have, and I don't know the process they used for casting, but I feel like that if it was me, I probably would have done more chemistry reads to make sure that everyone read well together. Because it's not that any of the actors were bad. Because I've seen other movies from the other actors, and they all do great.
There's just a disconnect.
Yeah, you know, you can have two great actors that just simply don't read well together, and
Right.
that's okay.
One of my favorite examples of that is Vamp Forstick. I mean, all four of those guys are great actors, yet they had zero. Like it was like 4 pieces of paper talking to each other. It was,
You think?
you know.
So I'm not going to knock the movie too much. I think that if you are a diehard horror fan, you might find some redeemable qualities about it. But if you're just a casual moviegoer, you're probably not going to be the biggest fan of it. Both cases are fine, but it's one of those that just go at your own discretion. Getting into this week, though, I went to the movies to see If.
Okay.
I still haven't seen this.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah.
Don't
The-
spoil it.
I will not spoil it, but what I will say is that this movie emotionally fucked me.
I'm not surprised.
It was so emotional.
Yeah.
Does that happen twice this week?
Yes. Oh. So, If written and directed by John Krasinski, which I love that we're starting to see him more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he's amazing, and the only thing that I'll say, non-spoiler about this, he's not really in it that much.
Yeah. No,
I
that
fi-
figures.
the
yeah.
trailers didn't really spot light him, so
That's
I
true,
I
yeah.
figured he was a minor role.
Yeah,
Thi-
it looked like
this
Will was
is-
the main imaginary character. So.
This is Kaylee Fleming's movie, and she knocked it out of the park.
She sure did.
She did really good.
Absolutely.
Ryan Reynolds is just a gem in everything he does.
yeah.
No
True.
surprise.
Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Exactly.
He plays himself, I feel.
I feel like he could use. I like Ryan Reynolds a lot, of course, but like I feel like lately it feels like he hasn't really been able to stretch his range. That
Everything
much.
post Deadpool.
And I
Yeah.
feel like I think he deserves roles where he can do that, like Buried, from like
Yes.
where he really showed a different side of himself. I feel like he needs more roles like that.
What
Yeah.
did you think about Voices?
I didn't see it.
Really?
Oh, I can answer that question.
Which one was that?
It's where
Looks
he,
it sounds familiar.
he just hears voices. It's a black comedy.
Is
Even
is this?
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Wait a minute. I do remember trailers for this, and
Yeah.
then that reminds me why
It's a twisted
that's
movie.
that reminds me why I never wanted to see this.
No, now I remember what that fucking movie is.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Uh,
I liked it.
I had
I
no
thought it
interest
was okay.
in that.
even Life, he played that similar role.
Yeah, and then he
Which
got
is a
killed.
sci-fi
He
horror
got
movie.
killed off so quickly.
That's-
Spoilers.
Life
like,
is
like you
essentially
care.
Alien, discount Alien.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Even played that role.
Yeah.
Mhm. So now we get into what Matthew and I watched yesterday. Oh, God.
Rest in pieces.
Yes. We started off watching Ordinary Angels.
Oh yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
seen it?
No.
I've been
I
wanting to
haven't.
watch it.
Is it bad that every time that we saw Alan Ritchson on screen, we were just expecting him to beat the crap out of whoever he was
Yeah.
in the scene with?
The kids, the grandmother, whatever.
We just, whenever he's carrying his daughter, we just anticipate him throwing her on the ground to get information out of her. No, it's a very, very good movie. It is so much. It's not that If isn't emotional, because it is, but it's probably 10 times more emotional than that.
Mhm.
It takes a lot for me to cry in a movie, and it takes a lot. A lot.
You were
This
crying
movie-
a lot.
Shut up. This movie had me probably for most of the third act sitting beside Matthew, kind of trying to turn my face so he couldn't see that I was crying. It's really good. It's Alan Ritchson's. It's some of his finest work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Same thing for Hilary Swank. Some of her finest work.
And if
Um,
more
she
Christian
already
movies,
has an impressive body of work behind
She
her.
does. The fact that she is still outdoing herself at this
Yeah.
stage is amazing.
I want to mention before I forget, if more Christian movies were like this, people would have more respect for them.
Yes.
This
Dude,
Jesus Revolution stuff.
who-
And it
like that.
wasn't
Who
preachy.
Put this out?
Huh?
Who put this out? Like the
Uh,
studio?
It was Lionsgate again.
Oh, it was.
Lionsgate's been putting out some really high quality Christian
So
movies
it's not
over the
like
last few
it's
years.
not Pure Flix or
No,
anything?
no,
Okay,
no.
Good.
No, Lionsgate's been doing like I Still Believe, Jesus Revolution. Like they've been putting out these really high quality Christian movies that aren't overly preachy, but they're
Mhm.
really well done movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my biggest gripe with a lot of Christian movies is like,
There's no effort.
well, not only that, but I don't think that movies need to be preachy.
And
I think they should be made points of conversation.
And also, just a lot of Pure Flix's movies, just not only are they poorly made, but like they just seem to like spew hatred for anyone who thinks differently. Like all the God's Not Dead movies.
Garrett, be careful.
I had-
love most of these Pure Flix movies. Be careful.
It's okay to politely
I'm
disagree.
not going to be silent on how I feel about a lot of Pure Flix movies. Most people hate them.
Yeah.
So,
Which I was unaware, but that's okay.
I think that for me, like,
they have their fans. I'm sure not all of them are terrible, but like
Right.
a majority of them that I've seen or heard about, that's all I have to say about that.
I feel like I'm going to save it for after the podcast,
Okay.
just because I don't want to cause a point of contention for anyone watching.
Good choice.
So moving on, we watched The Fall Guy.
Oh, nice. A good change of pace from
Yeah.
that.
Good month for movies. Great month of movies.
This, I'm not going to say it was the best, like, written dialogue wise,
Okay.
but it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very fun movie.
It is. It's
It was
really fun.
it was insanely predictable throughout the entire movie, but sometimes that's a good thing. You know, sometimes the audience deserves that reward of like, oh, I could tell this was going to happen.
And then he gets screwed all over again with the next movie.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So yeah, I really enjoyed The Fall Guy. Ryan Gosling is another guy we're seeing more of now.
Yes.
Thankfully.
And again, he has had a very good career, and he is now at the point like he's still finding ways to outdo himself. You
Now
know,
he's becoming that A-list.
you look at Barbie, you look
Yeah.
at The Fall Guy. He's continuing to outdo himself, and I love that. I love that we have actors that can do that
Yeah.
this far into their career.
Yeah. And can I say real quickly about The Fall Guy? What's actually cool, there's a bonus feature, the extended cut, as a bonus feature.
Yeah,
There's an
I gotta
extended
check that
cut?
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just came out.
It's not like Zack
Okay.
Snyder's, thank God, because the theatrical movie is fantastic, but I heard with the extended cut there's extra scenes. I thought, cool, the movie I love, I get to see extra scenes. Awesome.
I think it branches it into a more R-rated category.
Okay.
And
Probably.
it's like 23 minutes
That'd be
longer.
cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm looking
okay.
forward to watching it.
Next movie that we watched,
You're going to love this one.
yes,
Oh, what's this?
Civil War.
Oh, yes.
They wanted to watch that too.
Yeah.
This is not a horror movie, of course. Not
It
not
felt like one.
it's not a straight horror movie, but it really feels like it. It is.
I can't think of that scene with Jesse Plemons without just like goosebumps coming up my body.
The fact that he took that role like a week before.
Yeah.
I don't know who was in the role before him, but and I hope that there's nothing wrong there. But what I will say is I'm glad that we got the version we did, because he was. I want to see him in another villainous role where we have him a little bit more.
That'd be really cool, honestly.
Because he, and I mean, he may already have that role out there. I'm not. This is the first thing I've ever seen him in that I'm aware of.
Game night, he's
Yeah,
throughout
he is
most
the
of it.
neighbor.
He's like
Yeah.
a serial killer in that one.
Oh
almost.
wow!
Well,
No,
not really,
no,
but
it's
a
he's
a
painted
really
as a serial killer.
really creepy,
yeah,
really creepy guy.
like something's off with this dude. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's a guy that you give a candy bar and be nice to.
Yeah,
This movie was so unsettling.
it was.
It was really unsettling. I'm at the point now. I've seen enough horror movies, and I grew up watching it. That horror movies don't bother me. Blood and gore does not bother me. It takes a lot for me to feel unsettled. This, for many reasons, really did make me feel that, like that classic feeling from when I was a kid and I saw a movie for the first time, and I was like, "This is scary."
Yeah.
I saw
Oh,
saw this
fudge.
with my sister, and when we were going home after, like we didn't even know how to like talk about it. We
Yeah.
were just kind of shook. So
And I will say too, I really love that it is a political movie that doesn't have real world
Yes.
politics.
And part of the problem is with that, like, everything's so, politics are so out there now. Like, people wanted this. People's problem with this was they wanted it to be more political, and
Yeah.
It didn't need to be.
We don't need that.
No.
No.
We don't need that
I-
right now.
I don't know how don't know how y'all feel about this, but my view on politics is I don't want it in my media.
Nope.
I don't want politics or religion in my media. If I want either of those things, I can go to a source that is about those things. Whenever I'm watching a movie or listening to music, I do not want to hear about it.
Or at least not something that like is telling you what to think. Something that starts a conversation like
Yeah.
Right.
Oppenheimer did that,
Yeah.
where it's not about telling you how to feel about a person or how to feel about a subject. It's provoking whatever response you have.
Yeah.
So
Right. Just like Jesus Revolution, it wasn't really preachy. It was just
Mm-hmm.
about that and
yeah.
how you should feel about it, not
Mhm.
like telling you this is how you should feel.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is what I've seen this week.
I got a few movie recommendations I need to watch.
Yeah.
Civil War, Ordinary Angels. Man, I got a few things I need to watch.
You also have another thing that's on your watch list.
We're not going to talk about that.
I just want to say
We're not talking about that.
I have victory because John is going to watch Blood and Honey.
He's back into it.
You keep going back and
He
forth on this.
convinced me because of my favorite Disney movie and pizza. He convinced me.
Yeah. So
Yes.
the deal is we watch Blood and Honey first and then watch Frozen after.
Hey, at least this
That's
way
your
you can say
favorite-
you're a
is that
man
your
of your
favorite
word.
Disney movie, Frozen.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. There were two. Frozen was weird. That's
It is
very-
called bribery.
I
Okay.
try to stick to my guns, fans, and I'm sorry that I disappointed you all.
What do you
Ugh.
mean? You're being
You
a
should do-
man
you
of
should-
your
you should
word.
do,
That's better.
I did the
You should do a
rant
live
like
reaction
weeks
to
ago,
it.
and I stood
Yes.
by my
Yes.
words.
Hey John,
Ugh.
John, did you hear Garrett?
You should do a live reaction.
Library. Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Anyways, you don't have to be like silently hating it. You can at least get whatever aggravation you get out of it.
I know that our deal was that I could not say anything bad about Frozen. If you did not say anything bad about Blood and Honey, I will give a pass on that if we live stream.
That way you could rant about it while you're
What
watching.
the fuck was that?
There was okay.
You don't have to say
In
yes
case
or
you
no
didn't-
right now. Just
in
do it
case
after
you
the
didn't
podcast.
hear that, there was a really loud scream in that party.
Do it again for the horror movie.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
Since Paul and I usually go last, I'll go next.
Okay.
I watched Frankenstein, the original.
On VHS.
Yes, on VHS. We got a bunch of VHS at work, and I still have my VCR, so I bought a couple of the old horror movies.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
It was really good. I get a 4-star. I
Oh.
watched Deep Blue Sea 2.
Oh
God.
The first one is in my top 100 of all time.
Uh-huh.
I usually, if I give something below a 3-star, I really don't like it. I gave this a 1.5.
It went directed video, didn't it?
Yeah, it went direct to video. It was a train wreck. and I
Yeah.
hated it so much. This next one, I still don't know how I feel about it. It's called Only God Forgives.
Oh, is that the Ryan Gosling?
Yeah.
It's by the guy who did Drive. I
Yes,
think.
it's Ryan Gosling and the
I
director of Drive.
Yeah, I watched that. Did not like it, and that's usually the type of movie I like.
Yeah, Nightcrawler, Prisoners, Drive, those are all great movies.
It is the I don't like to use that word, but it definitely did feel very pretentious.
I think what it is I don't think a studio funded it. I think he funded it himself.
Yeah.
So the cinematography and the visuals and score are great,
Mhm.
but just the writing and
Just
it was too stylistic. Like you didn't
don't
care about
you don't
it.
really understand what's happening
Right.
really either.
It's more just
Like,
fancy shots
the
and fancy score.
Ryan Gosling's character, who's usually so charismatic, just
He's a wimp.
yeah,
He's
and
a
he
wimp.
doesn't have like the cool charisma that he had in Drive.
No.
he just you don't really. I didn't get it. I really didn't get it at all.
Yeah, honestly, I was confused by the title
It's
Like,
a
that's-
revenge movie.
Yeah.
because I was thinking it's not a Christian movie, is
No,
it?
No.
Yeah, I was like, no, it can't be.
The score and the cinematography were great. Everything else you couldn't give a crap about.
Nope.
Huh.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Oh, is that
Oh,
the Tom
I
Hanks?
love
Yeah.
that one.
I liked
loved
it.
it.
I liked it a lot.
I loved it.
Tom Hanks
Um,
is Mr. Rogers. Perfect casting.
I won't do the short films because I'm gonna do like separate videos on those later to do more indie film spotlight stuff. I'll do separate videos on those, so I won't talk. Won't mention the Mad Max movies because we're doing our Furiosa review today.
Mhm.
So I'll skip over those. Watched Abigail.
Oh, finally.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yes. I give it a 4.5.
Sammy, those are fucking onions.
I'll have you know, I cracked up.
Dan Stevens is the scene stealer in that movie.
He is. He is.
I cracked up during that scene in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny.
I'm not going to say anything else about this, except for I don't want to get too into detail. Just Catherine Newton.
Yeah, leave it at that.
Yeah, leave it at that.
What?
What's
God.
next?
I don't want to get.
No.
Scrap
What's
that,
next?
Keep going.
Ordinary Angels.
Right.
Obviously, Paul and I watched it together. His emotionally, it just drains you.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
Is it like the nice kind of sad, or is it like
It's
Is
inspirational.
okay, all right.
Girl's mother. Nah, I won't get into it.
So it's not like depressing, like.
It's very depressing,
Oh,
but it's a happy ending.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I will say too, if you plan to watch it, make sure that's the only thing you're watching. Make sure that you don't have to do anything after, because it's gonna take a minute to recover.
Okay.
Yeah. Very well done. Like Paul said, Alan Rich and some of his best work.
Yes.
Same with Hilary Swank. I haven't really seen. The reason we kept thinking Reacher is because what kind of role is Alan known for? Reacher. He was in Fast X.
Mm-hmm.
Another big tough guy. He was Hawk on Titans. Aquaman in Smallville. It's all the big muscular action stars.
He was Thad Castle.
I forgot he was. Forgot he was Aquaman in that.
Is that a pun?
No, it's from a show called Blue Mountain State.
I've not seen that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
good. 3 seasons and a movie. 2 movies, I think, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's too good.
But yeah, Alan is really becoming one of my favorite actors.
Hmm.
he's
Batman.
great.
Yeah.
Fucking Batman.
I would love for him to be Batman.
Same.
I won't get into it. We did get Reacher season 3 news. The dude he's fighting is actually bigger than Reacher.
Yeah.
He makes
is
him
this?
look like a fucking kindergartner.
I don't remember the guy's name, but he's known as the Dutch Giant. He's 7'2", like 400
Is he a
pounds.
fighter?
Bodybuilder.
Okay.
Yeah, dude's massive.
7'2",
Yeah.
like 400 pounds.
Yeah.
He literally he makes Alan Richardson look like the size of John.
You know those kiddie like like lawn chairs that they make, like the little kid-size lawn chairs.
Yeah.
There's the picture that I saw of the casting announcement for that was him sitting in on a plane, and the seat that he was in looked like a kid's lawn chair. That's how big he is.
Speaking of that, you guys saw the photo of Dwayne Johnson in the Smashing Machine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That did
Is
not
that-
look
I
like him.
literally-
Is that really The
it looked
Rock?
like
Yes. Oh my
I
god.
thought it was like
That might be the best makeup I've ever seen.
Who-
That's
who did I
crazy.
think this looked like?
Right?
Yeah.
It looked like Patrick Warburton to me at first.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
That it was like
I would also like to say that this might.
So I'm not familiar with that story very much, and I didn't know what it was about. I knew the Safdies were involved, but I'm interested. To
Honestly,
see
this
that.
made me look like an idiot, but I can't. That cannot be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
It is.
That
They did
can't
some
be him.
heavy
It
That's
is.
crazy.
prosthetics.
Yeah, I'll jump into my last 2 movies and I'll get my thoughts on that because I got something to say about that. The Fall Guy, obviously.
Yep.
Really entertaining.
Mhm.
I'll differential on what Paul said a little bit. I don't think it's the best written movie. I feel like it's
No.
one of the most smartly written movies of the year. I feel like that and Deadpool are going to be among the
It
smartly
gives
written.
you exactly what the kind of movie that
Yeah.
promises.
Yeah. And then obviously Civil War was the last one. Yeah, it was great. I don't see me rewatching it a lot because it really did screw
me
with
neither.
me.
Like I really loved it when I saw it. Is like this is gonna be kind of like Schindler's List, where it's like this is like a once in a while type of thing.
Yeah. I loved it, but it really did screw
Yeah.
with me. But it was, yeah. I
You're
was
telling me that this movie's scary because I
It
wanted to
it
watch
is
it.
like
It's
because
not scary like a horror movie. It's
Right.
scary, just disturbing.
how
Okay.
how
Like
social
society
paranoia.
and how bad society can get that kind
Yeah.
of way.
It's
Yeah.
not like jump scares. It's
No,
just
no.
it-
Oh, I know, yeah.
no,
I
it's
mean,
psychological. It messes
The
you
sound,
up.
Okay.
watching that in the theater with the sound design,
Oh,
literally,
oh my.
I felt like I was in a war zone
Yeah.
for real.
Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna use this for trivia later on, but since we're talking about it, I'll just save it instead of doing it as a trivia a different day. Most movies use what they call quarter or half blanks,
hmm
which make the gunshots quieter.
Yeah.
They use full blanks, so all the gunshots you hear in the movie are real gunshots. Like they actually,
like Heat,
yeah,
like Michael Mann's Heat.
they use That's the gun.
Dang.
That's not CG at all. Those are real gunshots you're hearing in the film. Because the blanks are as loud as real gunshots.
Ooh,
It-
okay.
that's coming off of the Alec Baldwin Rust situation. I'm surprised that they even got away with that.
It actually gave also. I believe this is Kirsten Dunst's best performance I've seen.
Yeah, she's really good in it.
I've seen that comment.
And last thing was I forgot now.
Were you gonna continue on that same trivia point?
I was gonna say something else about the movie. Yeah, I forgot what it was. I hate when I forget stuff. I remember. I'm getting so old.
It's okay, Grandpa.
Need your walker.
I'll come back to it later if I remember.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say about The Rock was I actually hear they're contending for Oscars for this movie.
He's gonna push so hard to do it, and I'm hoping the best for him because I don't know I don't know how good the movie's gonna turn out. I'm such a huge fan of the Safdie brothers as directors. Good Times, or actually no, it was Good Time, and Uncut Gems I thought was just incredible, and what they did with Sandler in that. So if there's any director who can get a Oscar-worthy performance out of Dwayne Johnson, it's the Safdies. So.
And that's the thing about The Rock too, is like he feels like he plays the same character in every movie.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
He is. It's not that he's a bad actor, but of the WWE stars turned actor, he's not on par with Cena and Batista.
I was
Right.
gonna
No.
say, can he even play another
but
role?
he-
We're gonna find
He
out.
also gets put in the same type of movie.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the problem, too.
And that's not entirely his fault.
No.
It's
feel like
partially.
that's more of
it's
a
gotta be
agent
partially his
thing.
fault.
It's
though.
the big, like, Fast and Furious type action movie.
Yeah.
He's in so many of those
Mhm.
types
Half
of
the time
things.
he's wearing the exact same outfit.
Yeah, and he's in the jungle.
Hmm. So yeah, we'll see how he does with this. I'm excited. I'm
rooting
excited.
for him. I'm hoping the best for him.
Yeah.
I hope he rocks it.
Yep.
Maybe next year
212.
when we do our Oscars live stream, we might see The Rock at the Oscars.
Maybe.
You never know.
If he actually wins,
Well,
they have to
not-
play his WWE theme when he comes out.
That's a big if.
But don't forget,
A very
Dune Part
big if.
2, as of right now, is our top film of 2024. I assume it's our top.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speak for yourself. I'm not gonna talk about what mine is. It could be Dune 2. I'm just saying.
Dune 2.
That's true. I mean, there's going to be some more
Challengers is up
great
there for
films
me as
coming
well.
out.
Yeah, we still have half the year to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too early to call.
Yeah.
I've got 2 films that I know are in my top 10. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Oh no, same. But I just
Yeah. Let the
Possibly
summer
3.
let the summer blockbuster begin.
Y'all are gonna hate
Um,
some of my top tens.
So I'll go next.
Okay.
I have a handful here. One of these I saw in the theater was I Saw the TV Glow.
How was that?
I loved it. Definitely not for everyone.
Right.
It's the type. It's very. You better watch this movie high. Is all. I'm
Hell
saying.
yeah!
Um,
That's my favorite kind of recommendation.
It is. It messed with me on a level I was not quite expecting, and I came out of it like having a general idea of like what it was going for, because everyone who's seen it is coming out of this movie with different interpretations on what it actually means.
Interesting.
And it's the type of thing. It's like a Rorschach test. People come out of it thinking differently about the themes and stuff, and I love movies that can do that. No, the directing is super solid. The acting I think was great. Justice Smith, who I kind of have a hit and miss kind of thing with his acting, because I feel like I know he has the potential, but he's been in a lot of like really trashy roles. Like, I mean, in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, he was so annoying in that. He annoyed me a little bit in Detective Pikachu, but to a lesser extent. He's really good in here. And he's very soft spoken. His character has asthma, so he kind of talks a little strange, but like it kind of brings you into the atmosphere of the movie. And the movie has such a weird and unusual atmosphere, and that's part of what makes it what I loved about it so much. So highly recommend it if you love A24 movies.
Oh, hell yeah.
Then I watched a movie that's in some circles regarded as a classic, and this is a movie from 1968, I believe. It's called The Swimmer. A movie I don't think many people have heard of, but it's actually based on a short story that I studied in college. And it's a short story that's often called one of it's a very allegorical story. It's not meant to be taken literally, and neither is the movie. What it's about is the character's name is Ned Merrill, and he's played by Burt Lancaster, is the actor, and the story revolves around Ned, who is this very happy-go-lucky, very carefree guy, middle-aged guy, and he has this thing where he likes to swim. Because the title of the movie is The Swimmer, and one of his favorite hobby is just swimming in people's pools all across the neighborhood, and the movie starts with him at someone else's house, and he decides to spend the day swimming across. He discovers that there's a line of houses that each have swimming pools, and he decides to go through this line of houses and swim in each of these people's pools. And each of these people, it sounds strange, but like each of the houses that he goes to throughout the movie, things get stranger and stranger because people have different reactions to him. Like people who seem to have known him for years, some of them like see him as a great friend, but the more he goes, the more sour the people are when he sees them. You realize that he seems like a great guy in the beginning of the film, but you realize that this guy's like lost in his own world, and that's the point of the movie. Is that it's a good character study of a guy who really just feels like he gets lost in his own fantasy world and has ruined his relationships with his family, his friends, and all that. And it's a really interesting movie, and I highly recommend it. Don't take it literally, is all I'll say about that.
You said The Swimmer or The Swimming Pool?
The Swimmer.
Okay.
It's 1968,
Okay.
and
Just saved in my watch list.
yep. And especially if you like metaphorical, like allegorical kind of stories, I highly recommend it.
I'm just watching anything and everything now.
Next up, I rewatched Glengarry Glen Ross, which is one of my favorite like screenplays of
I
all
need to watch
time.
that.
Some of the greatest acting monologues ever. I mean, you have Al Pacino in here. You have Alec Baldwin, one of his most iconic roles, and he's only in like maybe 10 minutes of the movie. Always be closing. That's where that famous line came from. And yeah, so many, because it's based on a play. Can't remember if it's Broadway, but it is based on a play. The directing is great in this. I mean, the screenplay is just fantastic. The actors all do such wonderful jobs. It's definitely an actor's type of movie. For all the performances, which are just fantastic. Then I rewatched a Clint Eastwood movie, Richard Jewell, which is one of my favorite recent Clint Eastwood movies, and I'm a huge fan of his as a director. And lately, his track record's not been that great. But Richard Jewell is definitely one of his bright, shining moments recently. I love he does so great with actors and creating these really interesting characters. A lot of times based on real people. I mean, this movie has great performances all around from Sam Rockwell. Kathy Bates was Oscar nominated for this, and Paul Walter Hauser plays Richard Jewell. Just an interesting story, a really tragic story in many cases, and Paul Walter Hauser just plays it so well. He creates a character that you're frustrated by, but at the same time you're rooting for him, and it's a very unbiased movie on its subject about how media just can ruin someone's life even when they do a heroic act. And it's a great movie if you haven't watched it. If you haven't watched a lot of Clint Eastwood's movies, like Million Dollar Baby or Gran Torino.
I watched a couple of them.
Unforgiven. Yeah.
Gran Torino was one of my favorites.
Yep. Then rewatched Mad Max Fury Road, of course, for Furiosa, and then Furiosa. So
Which
Right
we're
on.
going to
Yep.
review that later.
that's what I got.
Johnny Boy.
I am Johnny Boy. Okay. I only watched 3 things, and that is the newest movie and a TV show and the trailer, which I'm going to get hyped for. I'll get to that later.
You had a slow week.
Well, we have been pretty busy, of course, for something new for next week, which I'm not going to share because, of course, it's family personal reasons. But
Yep.
it's but very excited to get into it. Yeah, Matthew and I, we went to see Furiosa, which I'm wearing the same shirt when I ran out in the rain like Forrest Gump in a marathon.
Yeah, I'm
It
gonna
was
tell
so-
that story when you're done.
Okay, because I'm pretty
Actually, I'll
sure.
save it for the Furiosa review.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. But it was hilarious after the film was over, but we'll get to that. But then of course I'm reviewing the Phineas and Ferb each seasons, which I surprisingly actually finished the whole season 1 of Phineas and Ferb, which it only took me a few days to finish, and that was it.
Yeah, I'd do a separate video on that. Just do like a review video each season.
That's my point. And now we're going timber on the water bottle.
Some
we throwing
bottled
water
up
bottles now?
frustrations coming out.
No.
Be still now. Be still.
Yeah, but yeah, I do want to review it definitely like each month. I'm planning to start it this week, all the way to August. All we have to do is do the editing process and everything, but can't wait to talk about some Phineas and Ferb. Now the hype machine for one more thing. I got to see the teaser trailer for the upcoming Knives Out movie that comes out in 2025.
I didn't get to watch that. I know the announcement. Like, what's it called?
Oh, here we go.
Wake up,
Wake Up, Dead Man.
Wake up, dead
Wake
man.
up,
No.
Wake Up, Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
Knives Out.
And let me just say this, guys, big time. I freaking love what Ryan Johnson has done with the Knives Out movies.
I still have not watched the first one.
I know.
you
and
watched
I'm
Glass
so,
Onion?
No, I haven't watched either one.
Oh,
I am
Okay.
so disappointed in you, Matthew.
I
that you
haven't
have-
seen them either.
Oh
they're
no!
great.
Ooh.
Listen,
Glass
It's-
Onion. I might love even more. I know that
Me
might
too.
be might be a divisive opinion, but like
Aren't they
both
like a
of
modern
them,
version
both
of
of them are
Clue?
great. Yeah,
Basically, yeah, they're
they're
whodunits.
better.
Yeah.
They're better Agatha Christie type movies than the actual Agatha Christie movies that we've gotten so far.
I
So.
love.
I like that one.
Haunting on Venice.
It wasn't big on the other two. But
I haven't seen Murder. I've only seen. Death
Oh,
on the
okay.
Nile.
Murder's pretty good too.
Yeah, it is.
I had reasons for watching
Yeah.
Death on the Nile.
Yeah, I know you
But,
did.
We're not going to get into those reasons.
Yeah.
But Ryan Johnson's directing the Knives Out. So I mean, my goodness, he is just.
The screenplay too.
I mean, he is just such a masterful guy. I
He
mean, he is
is.
so incredible
is.
when he directs movies, and the
Last Jedi included.
Yes,
I said it.
Absolutely.
yeah, Last Jedi.
Let's go!
included,
Suck it.
Matthew. But
Star Wars fans.
but the funny thing is, if the third one turned out to be amazing, which it probably will be, it's gonna be my favorite trilogies. But I'm hoping they do more Knives Out movies.
Oh, they-
I
they
wanna
are-
see
They're
more.
going to.
They've got
Let's
like a whole
go,
franchise
yes!
planned out with Daniel Craig.
Well, they have at least
I
2 more
love
in the
mystery
chamber right
and
now.
whodunit
I could see
movies.
6.
Well,
I know,
originally
all
they were
that.
playing for 5.
Make that. This better be like the Friday the 13th of murder mystery.
I'd be so down
franchises.
for it. I think Ryan Johnson would be
Yeah.
too.
Same for me too.
Hell,
I think
Daniel
that-
Craig is Jason.
That's what I was gonna say. Like the 8th movie's Daniel Craig goes to hell or something.
No, Daniel Craig goes to Manhattan. No,
Oh my gosh! Oh man!
His character's name is Benoit Blanc. Benoit takes Manhattan,
And then Benoit goes to
and
hell.
that'll be the worst one.
Oh
And that'll be
God.
the worst one.
That would,
Oh,
be
yeah.
that would be interesting.
John's favorite trilogy is going to be Blood and Honey by the end of the day.
No, no.
that's even-
no,
if there's
it
even a
will
trilogy.
Not. No,
They
I'm
are
watching
making a
just the
third.
first one, and that's it.
Don't forget about the sci-fi one, Benoit X.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'm just giving you clear this one now. I'm just watching the first
do
one, and
declare.
that's it. No more. Anyways, can't wait for Knives Out sequel to come out in 2025. I can't wait for it. I still got Netflix. Can't wait to watch him. More whodunit movies, please.
I don't know why Lionsgate. I don't know why Lionsgate. 'Cause the first one was such a hit, and it's like, what?
What, they gave it to Netflix?
Yeah, it's just,
It's odd.
people will watch these movies.
Oh, yeah,
like
totally.
regardless. So
It's
got,
weird.
Dylan?
It's weird. It's not on Blu-ray yet. Plus on yet.
Well, it's because it's
it's Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah.
yeah, they don't want to
Boo.
do media.
They want. Yeah.
dumb.
What does Lusa got?
Well, I have actually a pretty nice list of movies. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Mad Max ones out of the way. I rewatched Mad Max Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome. I rewatched all those. I rewatched Fury Road, obviously in preparation for watching Furiosa, and then I watched Furiosa, which we're gonna be talking
talk
about
about that
that
a little bit,
later. Yeah.
We'll rank
So-
the Mad Max movies.
Yeah. That's the reason why I didn't get the ratings either for the first four.
Yeah.
But aside from those, I rewatched Treasure Planet.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so good. I still really love it.
Sky surfing, bro.
Oh my gosh. I'm so upset that we haven't gotten a sequel to it. I really am.
Well,
live
it
action.
was
I
it
want one
was
so bad.
if they're Atlantis and Treasure Planet need like live action.
Those are the live
remakes.
action we do need. Yeah.
Yes,
I was
I'll
just
say that.
about
Yes.
to ask you that.
Stop remaking
Yeah.
the 90s ones and actually remake the ones that not like were box office bombs when they came out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a massive following for the early 2000s Renaissance.
Oh
that we
God,
had.
yeah.
So, like,
okay,
just
except
give
for
us the people.
except for Home on the Range, do not touch that shit ever again.
Don't.
That shit was
it's
awful.
not good.
Home on the Range is one of the least talked about Disney movies I've
It's
ever seen.
horrible.
For good reason. Roseanne
terrible.
Barr is a talking cow.
Yeah. Stay away from that
I'm
one.
not going to say anything.
Well,
And also don't do Chicken Little again.
Oh, Chicken Little was
well,
like a
hold
masterpiece
on. I'll
compared
get
to
to
Home
Chicken
on the
Little
Range.
in a
It
second.
is,
Hold
it
on,
is.
hold on. I'll get to that in a second.
Oh, did you watch Chicken Little?
Treasure Planet, 4.5 out of 5. I fucking love Treasure Planet. It's one of my favorite movies ever.
Mhm.
I did watch Chicken Little the following night. 3 out of 5.
Okay, that's
It's-
funny.
It's not. I liked it as a kid. I just
It doesn't hold very well.
It doesn't hold up as an
No,
adult. No.
that was one of my takeaways when I rewatched it. I was like, okay, I see
I
why I
hate-
like this as a kid. I don't like it now.
God, I hate the dad character.
He is such a prick.
The dad
I-
is such an
I always
asshole.
hate dads who shouldn't be fucking dads.
Wait, is that
I always hate
John?
them.
Chicken Little?
Yeah,
J-
absolutely.
Shut up, Matthew. That joke is terrible.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling. John, don't say you wouldn't run around doing that if you saw something like that.
He hesitated.
It's
Are you-
because it struck a
Are you
nerve. I made a
telling me
point.
I would be a boy who cried wolf.
Yes.
Guy?
Yes.
Yes.
I have no idea what's going on.
I don't
Am
know
I miss-
either.
am I
They're
missing
trying to
something
convince
here?
me to think I would
What's
say
going
the sky
on
is
appears to
Because
be
you would if you saw the sky falling.
what's going on appears to be mild bullying.
It's just a
We're
bunch of
stating an
malarkey.
objective fact
Par for the
about
course
you.
with us.
You would do that. And then everybody would think that you're fucking crazy because you're a silly little guy.
There's a bunch of malarkey going on.
Malarkey. Continue. I don't know what that was about.
John, my apologies.
It's all right, buddy. It's all right.
3 out of 5 stars for Chicken Little. It
Are you
didn't
okay,
age well.
Matthew?
It didn't age well. I know why I liked it as a kid, and I see exactly why it was heavily memed upon.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. I did finally watch Abigail. I really liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5. I honestly, if we get like a sequel to this, I wouldn't mind. I don't know
No,
how they would
I
do a
would
sequel
love
to it,
sequel to this.
but I'd love it. I think it was kick ass. I did predict one of the major twists really early on.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I purposely typed it on my phone, put my phone down, and left it until it happened.
Can we talk spoilers about it?
Please, I've been
sure.
dying to,
Have we've all pretty much seen it.
except for John.
Yeah.
I'm not
What-
planning on watching
okay.
it. I'm
Um,
sure it's good, but I
Matt-
don't
Yeah,
think
it
I'll
is.
like it.
What's the guy at the end? Matthew, the Ozymandias from Watchmen at the end.
That was him?
That was him. Yeah, Matthew Good.
Really?
Matthew Good.
I did not know that.
Matthew Good is
no.
Matthew Good is one of my favorite character actors. Ever since I watched him in The Offer, loved when he showed up in this.
Holy shit!
I should have been
Yeah, that was
watching
him.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Wow.
I mean, he's a very. I mean, you probably wouldn't recognize him because he plays a very different character in every role he takes usually. So.
Yeah, but he just he didn't even look like the same dude at all.
No.
Like it wasn't like how he was holding himself or his mannerisms or anything like that. Like
It's almost
that's
like
not
he's
what
just-
made
only in
him
it for
look
like a
different.
minute.
To
He
me.
was only in it for like a minute, and I was mesmerized the entire time.
Matthew,
He
you're
played it very
367.
good.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he did. That was great. I was wondering what they were going to do for Dracula for this, if Dracula would even show up.
Don't
No,
bring
it worked
Dracula into
well.
it. If usually when vampire stories or movies bring Dracula in at the last second, it's usually terrible. Blade Trinity. That's all.
Yeah,
I'll say.
but
he was
this is-
Dracula, wasn't he?
Huh?
He was Dracula.
He
Yeah, because
was.
there's a remake of Dracula's
I thought
Daughter.
he was
It
just like
wasn't-
the father.
And
It
it's a
wasn't a
Universal Monster
remake.
movie.
It wasn't a direct remake. It was a reimagining.
Well,
It was-
yeah,
it
but
was
I mean,
based
they
on
did the same thing with
Dracula's
Invisible
Daughter.
Man.
Oh,
That's still the Invisible
that
Man.
is true. I forgot about that.
So
Because I do remember them saying it was like when the movie was announced, it was like loosely based. But I wish because they didn't really say his name.
No, they
Really,
didn't.
No,
Yeah, they did.
no, they said his human name.
Yeah.
but
I would prefer him not to be Dracula. Is all I'm
I'm
saying.
pretty sure he was Dracula.
no, 100%. It's a Universal monster movie. I mean, like I was saying, we have Invisible Man that came out. We have Wolfman that's coming out at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Those are still
Oh.
Universal monster movies. So,
Yeah.
considering the fact that Abigail was released by Universal and is being marketed as Universal Monsters, Abigail's the daughter of Dracula.
Can I jump in real quick about the thing we were talking about last week after everybody left?
Sure. I forget what it was.
We were talking ones that need to be remade, ones that could use a remake, ones that didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Like Phantom of the Opera obviously doesn't need it. There's tons of them.
Creature needs a remake desperately.
That's what I'm jumping into. Hear me out, Garrett.
Okay.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, directed by Christopher Nolan.
I think it could work.
Why him?
Because he wants to do a horror movie. And I feel like he could do a monster movie really good.
I think that the only other one
would-
that he could do well enough
I
was
wouldn't have a
the
problem with it,
Frankenstein.
obviously, but like,
Or do you think Denis would be better?
do we really need like? Do we really need like that prestigious of a level
I'd
director?
be curious to see how that would look.
I mean, I would too, but like, it would seem odd to go from like a Best Picture winning film with Oppenheimer to like like a Creature from the Black Lagoon type of thing. It would just seem I don't think it would happen, but I mean, it would be interesting for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I'm saying. Just purely on speculation.
I want.
I want him to. I want him to do The Exorcist. Here's
Yeah,
why. Because he'll summon actual.
No.
Nolan. I thought about this the other day, because I thought about Believer popped up in my mind again, and it just gets worse and worse in my opinion. Man, I don't really have a problem with. I don't have the hatred that for David Gordon Green that a lot of people do, because I think he is talented. But like, a director like Ari Aster or even Nolan, like someone who's already like established themselves as even a great director, because Friedkin, The Exorcist was basically Friedkin's only like real horror movie he ever did, because the other movies he did were extremely different. Before that he did French Connection, and then right after that he did The Exorcist. So for something like The Exorcist, or even these Exorcist, go for that type of director. Creature from the Black Lagoon, like I don't really need that level of prestige, but like, hey, if you want to go there, do it.
I think it would be just interesting to see.
Yeah,
I propose Gareth Edwards for Creature.
that's a good idea.
Ooh,
Um,
yeah.
I think that because Universal's going to keep doing these reboots, eventually we're going to get Creature.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do think that as they go forward, I hope that they start going away from. I love Leigh Whannell. I really fucking do. I loved Invisible Man. I can't wait for Wolfman. Those are two of my favorite Universal monster characters. I think that he did fucking amazing and everything. I think that they're going to continue using him the best that they can for these Universal reboots. But I hope that when it comes time for Creature, that they don't use Leigh Whannell. Mostly
Sure.
because I think that it would be good to have somebody else join
Yeah.
on the reboot train for
I w-
Universal Monsters.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just, I mean, we've had so many Dracula movies, especially since last year. Like,
Mm.
I would leave Dracula alone.
That's what I was
Yes,
gonna say.
yeah.
Dracula, Frankenstein,
Because
Phantom of the
Dracula's been
Opera.
like
Those-
Dracula's like been, in my opinion, a little too overexposed lately.
yes.
So, and I would leave the Mummy alone for now.
Yes,
For
that
obvious-
was
for
that was the
obvious
other one.
reasons.
Yeah.
So
and Phantom of the Opera and Frankenstein. Those are
I
ones
would
that have
I
a
would
lot.
be fine because Del Toro's working on a Frankenstein movie.
Oh,
So
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I mean they could still do like a modern, like they did with the Invisible Man and modernizing it. They could
Yeah.
still try a Frankenstein movie,
True.
but yeah. I would just stay away from Dracula for now and the Mummy just because of how bad that last one was.
What about
so
Phantom of the Opera?
I'd be fine. I'd be fine with Phantom.
I'd like to see Phantom. I love Phantom.
Yeah.
So-
God, I'm getting flashbacks to that 2017 Mummy movie.
Just remember the IMAX trailer. Just remember that.
Ah,
That's enough to. Yeah. Just that's
I have
all it
not
is.
seen it.
Are
I
you
remember
kidding me? Really?
That trailer.
No,
We're
I'm saying
wa-
the movie.
Oh.
It was horrible. So bad.
It,
No, I've
wa-
seen the
it wasn't
trailer.
as bad.
I
I'll defend.
was-
I'll defend that movie in certain cases.
in my opinion, some of the worst franchise setup in any like modern like
I
Hollywood
heard it's
movie
bad.
ever.
If it would have been a one-off and that was all it's supposed to be, it would have been great.
It clearly wasn't, and that was
It
what
wasn't,
shot
no.
themselves in the foot.
No, they wanted to do Dark Universe. They shot themselves in the foot.
Like
everything.
literally opening with that logo was the
Yeah.
funniest shit I'd ever seen. Like even with when Iron Man came out, they didn't like it had Marvel Studios on it. It didn't literally say Marvel Cinematic Universe on it. Like no.
Well,
you got to focus on making a good movie first and then doing that.
I think they should have just
They
followed through.
literally did that?
They literally,
they did.
Literally,
No,
the
100%.
movie opened. The first thing you see when you see the Mummy, the first what was supposed to be the first movie in this dark universe with all these monster movies, literally they open with the Dark Universe logo.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
It's hilarious.
No,
That
it
was
was- yeah.
real?
It
Yes.
was real.
Oh
yes.
my! I watched.
I
the
was
Otis
sitting in the
trailer
theater
for it.
with my
I thought,
friend.
yeah.
I saw it with a couple friends, and we were just laughing our fucking asses off.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a very dramatic flop.
It was
in that regard.
Yeah. How
was
can you feel
bad.
Tom Cruise, my favorite actor?
Tom Cruise.
No,
I
no,
love
no,
Tom
that.
Cruise. He's not very good in it.
The issue with the Mummy is the fact that they didn't prioritize the Mummy story.
No, clearly not.
That's
And I
that
don't even-
was the issue.
I don't even know what they were doing, especially with the ending, like
I-
with Tom Cruise's character.
I
So,
I
I did
actually
They
I know a lot about Tom
that
Cruise's
is
Mummy movie.
that is a mess of a movie.
Sorry, we got so off track, Dylan. What were your
Yeah.
other
No,
movies?
Keep
it's
going.
fine. Yeah, one day I would love to talk about the Dark Universe as a main episode topic.
I would
I would
love
love
to.
to.
I would love to.
We'll definitely
please.
plan that.
Yeah, please, because I want to talk more about
They were
that
so
movie.
excited to get that off the ground. weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I want to do different types of horror episodes in October, so that'll be a different type of horror we can do.
Yep.
So
please.
every main episode in October is going to be horror.
Just that cast photo.
Oh,
of all of
dude.
them.
I'm not going to talk about it. I can't. There's no way.
We'll save it.
Yeah, I still have a review to do. But before I get to my last movie, I rewatched a musical on YouTube last night called Hollywood Musical Batman. It's by this
Oh,
this
yeah.
channel called Team Star Kid. They're great. You should check them out. They've been doing shit for forever. Holy Musical Batman's over 12 years old, which is crazy. But I loved it. 10 out of 10. I watch it like every year multiple times. So I know it like the back of my hand. I really love it.
So it's me
too
with
good.
Twister.
Yes, basically, yeah. It's just too good. I think that anybody who likes musicals or Batman should watch it, or Spider-Man. Honestly, just watch it. It's great.
What do you
It's
got?
like an hour and a half. There's no ads because they can't monetize it.
So do you watch
It's
like?
great.
Do you ever watch like the Spider-Man turn? What was
Turn off the dark.
that- You ever watch clips of that?
Yeah. I bought this. I bought the music book for it. I bought the CD for it. I wish I would have bought merchandise for it.
Man, what could have been though? What
Yeah,
could have
holy
been?
crap! Reading everything about Turn Off the Dark, it was like a fever dream.
Yeah.
I
remember
it was great though.
that was on the news for a while. And
It was.
It was just. It was.
It was one of the most disastrous Broadway
fascinating.
musicals ever.
And
Yeah.
get ready to get your mind blown because Holy Musical Batman, you talked about that in episode 2 of season 1 of our podcast.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe
It's
it.
been that long.
No, I truly do love it. I do.
Yeah.
One of my favorite rewatches of Star Kid is a Harry Potter musical, or more specifically, a Harry Potter sequel.
So you think
I think
like
it has better. Yes, 100%.
Cool.
I love it. I fully recommend Star Kid to everybody who likes musicals or likes certain IPs. Because they, yeah, and
I gotta
they started
check this
making horror musicals too.
Like what's one of the horror?
One of them is a guy who didn't like musicals. They made that. They made one called Black Friday. They're making the Hatchetfield series, which I think that they currently have 3 episodes of the Hatchetfield series out. I can't remember. They have another one called Nightmare Time.
Is that inspired by Elm Street?
I'm not sure. I haven't tried Nightmare Time yet. I think it's just smaller condensed stories.
Oh.
I think it's like the opposite of reading a bedtime story to a kid. I think that's what they were going for. I still haven't watched
Cool.
those.
Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah, honestly.
I love Ice Nine.
So down for it. I'm so bummed out that the first performance for their upcoming tour is Fort Wayne, and they're not even going to be there. I'm so bummed out about that.
Wait, what?
Ice Nine Kills is going on tour this summer, and the first 3 shows of the tour that they're doing in this moment, they're not going to be able to perform at.
Oh, okay.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. I was super
Shit.
bummed out about it. I really wanted to go when I found out.
Quick trivia real quick about that. In the John Wick Chapter 4, the song in the credits is in this moment.
Really?
Yeah, it's an original song for the movie.
I'm going to have to check that out. I don't think I've
Is
listened
that,
to it in its entirety yet.
I think I forget the name of the song. Is it the one that that Asian lady sings in the end credits
It's
from
not
John
Asian
Wick 4?
Lady.
Oh.
It's the hard rock one.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm really bummed out that I have to miss them performing together. It sucks.
Honestly, if it was just me and Dylan, we would be talk about our favorite musical movies.
Yeah, honestly, we could
We'd
do a
be
whole
on board with
musical
that one,
episode.
wouldn't we, buddy? That would be a good one.
That's another thing. I finally watched the Wicked trailer. I liked
did?
it.
I like it too.
I think it looks really good.
I don't know how I feel about it. It's
But
so weird. I want to.
everyone's
love
I
it.
know
like-
it's interesting.
Everyone
Yeah.
online is complaining how the trailer doesn't really sell the musical stuff.
No, it
But, like,
doesn't.
the best performing musicals, or at least recently, are the ones that really don't sell the musical part of it. Like Wonka, the trailers for Wonka didn't really sell that it was a musical either.
Well, a lot of people
So-
don't want to go see musicals in theaters
Yeah,
now, which is
exactly.
a bummer.
So, and Wicked has an interesting story.
Yes.
So I think it's a smart move that they're selling more of the story than just selling the musical part. So
Yeah.
Well, another Star Kid plug. They actually did a version of it for Aladdin, of Wicked for Aladdin. It's called Twisted. It's
Oh.
about Jafar, where it paints Jafar as a sympathetic character who actually cares about the
Interesting.
people.
I want.
It's I recommend it again.
I respect the
But-
formula, but like a lot that formula's but
Well, this is before like that kind of story really took off.
Well, Maleficent was what ruined it for me. Like when they tried to do a Wicked type of thing with
yeah,
Maleficent.
this was around that time period was when they did
Well,
it.
I
It was
hate-
like at like the
I
peak
couldn't
of them
stand.
doing
I
these
couldn't
stories.
stand Maleficent. So
Yeah, I thought Maleficent was okay, but
it was
just
so
I recommend
bland.
Twisted.
Even with Angelina Jolie, who clearly put a lot of effort into it, even she can save it for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a
Yeah,
topic.
It is.
But Wicked, yeah, I want to be excited for it because it's been developing hell for years.
A long
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
movie, please do not let me down. That's my brother and sister's favorite musical. They love Wicked so much.
Mm-hmm.
So don't ruin it, please.
Well, I think that it looks good. I'm excited for it.
I think
I'm
it
definitely
looks
gonna
good
check it
too, but
out.
I just don't know how to react
What's
to it.
is their name Elzaba? Is that the
Elphaba.
Elphaba? Okay, I almost said Bathsheba.
Where the hell did you get Bathsheba from?
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes me
Another
that's
wish.
why I didn't see it.
But anyway,
um,
what else you watched? Yeah.
my very last thing, which is something that I wanted to do a very quick mini review on, is the latest South Park special that came out on Friday.
I heard about this.
I will say I got scared off of it at the very beginning because I went to watch it late night, and part of my routine is doing something, and I didn't. I just scared myself out of it because there's a trigger warning at the very beginning of it, and I have dyslexia, so I didn't read it right. And there's a trigger warning for South Park and of obesity, just in case you don't know, where the trigger warning is regarding sounds that are featured in the. No, because
Just
it's
the way
the sound.
you said that.
I know. I
Keep
just because in my opinion, I didn't have a big issue with it. As it turns out, after I reread the trigger warning today, watching it actually, I didn't really have an issue with it, especially after I watched it. I was like, okay, I can see why people would be triggered, but
Well,
I don't.
it's South Park.
Well, no,
You know?
the thing about it is they normally don't put trigger warnings for this stuff because they expect you to know what the fuck you're in for. But
Yeah.
for this one, I think it's one of the first times that they've actually given a trigger warning for what they're doing, like an actual genuine trigger warning, not the joke one.
I thought they usually do that.
They
for some of their
usually don't.
specials.
Yeah, they normally don't.
Huh.
This is one of the first times that I've seen it. But basically, there's a sound repeatedly used throughout it, which is the sound of a weight loss drug being injected into Trey Parker's stomach. They use an actual sound
Oh.
from that, but they repeated it throughout the movie.
Hmm.
You wouldn't notice that that's what it is. You would think that it was artificially made, or you would think that they just like clicked a pen or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not anything deliberately disgusting or anything like that. Just want to throw that out there.
I guess they did that for more authenticity or something.
Yeah, I think it was for authenticity. I think it was for Trey Parker to be like, hey, so we're going to be talking about this, so I want to have some experience with it.
Okay.
Because Trey Parker and Matt Stone, I've talked about South Park before. I'm not really going to talk about this part much because I've said it before. But Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they're fucking geniuses. Especially
They are.
I would say especially more Trey Parker because he's been more behind the creative process than Matt Stone recently. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. I think that they're both geniuses.
Music's getting louder
and
out
how
there.
Y'all, I'm going to apologize right now because I have a sensory disorder and it can sometimes get quite hard for me to process and listen if there's background shit like that. So if I get up and walk out for a few minutes, just please know that it's not like anything negative. It's just it gets quite overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, and then immediately you're going to hear the music behind us shut off.
Yeah.
No more
Well-
music for the rest of the
And you'll hear the screams of the harvester's victims.
night.
Mhm.
They can't help it. They love to party.
No,
Anyways,
no, it was really good. I like it. They're just geniuses. I don't know why so many people don't like them. Like me, I get it if you don't like it because of the crass humor. That's understandable. But past that, they're fucking amazing at the jokes that they're right. They do amazing fucking jokes all the time that they didn't even really fully intend to come off the way that they did.
And they
Like,
know
they're
what
great.
they've always talked about controversial. That's their thing. They
Yes.
talk about controversial subjects.
Well,
They've done that since the beginning.
Yeah, and they
And-
make fun of everybody with it too.
Yeah,
It's not like they just pick on one side.
It's never been one-sided with them. And
No.
What I find really impressive about the two of them is that so many like creative people or showrunners behind like shows like Rick and Morty or Simpsons or something like, or even Seth MacFarlane with Family Guy. After a bit, like those people basically go away from the project, and pretty shortly after they really get going. What I find really impressive is how long Trey Parker and Matt Stone have stuck with this series for like almost like 30 years, or
Yeah.
coming close to 30 years, which
Yeah,
I
they
love.
celebrated their 25th last year.
And it's
I think.
clearly this has been their passion, and all the power to them.
Yeah. No, they're amazing. Honestly, I can't wait to see more of what they do with the show in the future because I love obviously I love South Park, but I've rewatched the show at least 20 times in its entirety, and that's not counting the multiple rewatches of specific episodes. But watching South Park evolve, we've talked a little bit about like the changing times that we're kind of going through non-specifically. And seeing South Park change with that, because South Park is South Park, obviously it's got to adjust a little bit in order to continue surviving. it really is interesting seeing them evolve and seeing them continue and see them find new ways to come up with great content. So I love it.
Yep.
But End of Obesity came out on Friday, and it was pretty good. I do want to say that I don't know a whole lot about weight loss drugs nor obesity. I'm not very knowledgeable on that, so I'm just speaking about the special itself. That's it. I think it was really good. I think it handled a lot of issues. They made fun of everybody. They did what they do really well, and it continued on. I think that South Park is one of the franchises that are properly using streaming.
Yeah.
Which you would think with the amount of shit that we have out there that more places would use it well. But they don't. South Park does. Every special that they have put out has been amazing. It's not one of the ones where you'll watch episodes of the show and you'll be like, oh well, I wish that this would have been a little bit longer, or oh man, this one after the one before it didn't work super well.
Yep.
They've done multi-parters before where they've been pretty consistent. But it just, I don't know, after a certain point it slogs. You don't get that with these.
Nope.
They're great. We have like 7 specials out right now, I think. And they're all really well made. End of Obesity continues it. End of Obesity continues this trend of pushing Cartman more as a main character in the story. Like, he may not be like the most important character, but the story's about him.
And he's
like,
the most, recognizable.
Yeah,
He's
yeah. Him and
he's,
Kenny.
He's the Homer. He's like the Homer Simpson of the
Yeah,
series.
yeah. They continue the utilization of that really well here, where they made him basically the poster child of weight loss drugs, for the story. At
I'm
least.
just laughing. I haven't seen this. I'm just laughing thinking about that.
No, it's good. I highly recommend watching it because Cartman, surprise, surprise, is a fucking piece of shit. But one thing you may not know is he's not a piece of shit because of his weight, which is constantly a joke. And you could definitely see people making that takeaway watching the show. No, he's still a fucking piece of shit when he's
An
skinny.
asshole.
Or at least when he thinks he's skinny. Like his fantasies of being skinny. He's still a fucking prick. So it's not like this changes his character. That's one thing that I appreciate about Cartman. He's a piece of shit no matter what. He has no character progression when it comes to being a piece of shit. If anything, he becomes more of a piece of shit as the show goes.
Yep.
It's one of the things that I value. And I like that they continue that with this. They're spoiler alert, light spoilers. He decided that when he becomes skinny, he wants to be even more of an asshole. He wants to continue being super sexist and racist and Islamophobic and like really bad shit. He decides that he wants to double down on it because he views it as his weight is his weakness. If he takes away his weakness, nobody can make fun of him.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the end of the line for him. After that, he's scot fucking free. Nobody can touch this dude. That's how he sees it. So that was great to fucking see. It also continued the trend of Randy becoming a primary character in the South Park universe, which they started picking up on that with later seasons, although it was a recurring thing after like season 4. But they've really spent more time with that. That continues here. He's a great character in this because he's fucking Randy Marsh. He's an idiot. I just all around End of BC is great. I wish that I could give a full-fledged review, but we don't really have that time. It was great. I cannot wait for the next fucking special. At this rate, we should be getting another one in fall, or like in July or something like that. They seem to be pumping out 2 to 3 specials a year, which is great. Honestly, I'm kind of fine having the shorter seasons in addition to multiple specials a year. I just think it works super great. I love it. End of BC was great. I rated it 3.5 out of 5. I really did like it. I thought it was really cool.
Okay, before the main discussion point, we have trivia and a little brief discussion. I've seen some on Facebook. I want to get your answers from this. So first is trivia for 1 point. 60s horror.
Okay.
If I miss this, I'm going to be so disappointed in myself.
I'm probably gonna miss it.
What 60s horror movie was Francis Ford Coppola's first time directing?
It wasn't. It was something Haunted Hill.
House
it
on
wasn't,
Haunted Hill?
It wasn't House on Haunted Hill. It was something else. Something haunted in the title.
And for the audience, if you're living under a rock, Francis Ford Coppola directed The Godfather and Apocalypse
Yes.
Now.
And he has another movie. coming up this
Obviously.
week.
What's that? It's been remade time and time again. Last House on the Left.
That's Wes Craven.
Okay. All right. Shit. I don't know. Whoever has a solid enough guess, I'm just gonna go with them.
Same.
I'm gonna go. This is I know what this movie is. I'm just gonna guess Castle on Haunted Hill, something close to that.
Can you give? He should get points if he describes the plot of the movie.
I know Haunted is in the title, or something like that.
I'm going to have to pass on this one just because I cannot focus.
Nobody got it right. Oh, John didn't.
I was going to say what Garrett was going to say.
Dementia 13.
Dementia 13.
Oh.
That was his first movie.
Yes, first directorial debut. Yeah.
I was thinking of something else.
Huh.
Maybe you guys will have a better chance next week. Next week is 2020's horror.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Better.
Well,
5 years instead
Well, that
of
narrows
10.
it down.
And heads up, I finally updated the score, so I was able to send it to Matthew on this one.
Nice.
I believe it was John had 9, Garrett had 8, Dylan and Paul both had 1.
Actually, I think it was the other way around. It's Garrett 9, me 8.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
And I got water in my mouth,
briefly
guys.
look
I'm
this
sorry.
up.
Me one.
Yeah.
Dementia.
Me one.
Did you remember to do all the way from the beginning of the year?
Up season 2? Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Paul actually answered this the other day. So since he's kind of stressed out, if you want, you could set this out.
What?
That thing.
I don't even know what
Oh.
you're pointing at.
Someone put a post up on Instagram or on
Oh.
Twitter, and I shared it to the podcast page. You guys are gonna hate me for this.
Okay.
You can only keep one of these.
Okay.
Oh, I saw that.
Watchmen, Logan, The Batman, all 3 films of the Dark Knight trilogy. You can have one of them. V for Vendetta,
That's a lot of.
Into the Spider-Verse, or Joker.
Jesus Christ. Can
Matthew,
they
I
keep
love
like
and hate
3
you
of
right
those?
now.
Like that's
The
a lot
Batman.
of like
You want the Batman?
The Batman.
Dark Knight.
Joker.
This is not fair. This is not fair.
At least John's gonna suffer. was
I
hoping
hate
someone
I
would
hate
suffer.
these things. By the
Me
way,
too.
I hate those kinds
freaking
of
hate
things.
these.
I was
like
just
them
wanting
all.
someone to suffer. It's gonna be John.
I like them all, but we were getting Batman too, so I'd rather have
Oh.
I'd rather have that one
God.
right now.
Now we just need for a TikTok video. We just need to zoom in on John's face as he's suffering.
Yeah.
Oh, we
would-
should have
what
a
would
John
you-
cam.
What would you pick of that?
Honestly,
We'll get to mine later.
All right, John, it's later.
probably the Batman.
Over the Dark Knight.
I like the Dark Knight
I
better as a film. As
Yeah.
a Batman fan,
agree with
Fan, the
that.
Batman
I
is
agree with
better.
that. Like aesthetically, aesthetically.
Come on,
yeah, I
Paul.
agree.
Robert Pattinson's Twilight guy is dead. He is the Batman. He is
Because
Bruce Wayne. And
honestly,
you know it. You know it.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
honestly,
you do.
The Batman, the more I watch it, honestly feels more like a live action adaptation of like the animated series.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
Yeah.
that's
Nothing wrong
why
with
that's
that.
why I love
Well,
it so much.
part of it is Christopher Nolan, like obviously he did the film,
Yeah.
but Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson grew up on Batman. They've been
Mhm.
both been Batman fans since I think
Yeah.
Robert was 4 years old. It said what I read.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this now. I'm gonna take Watchmen out because although I like
think
it,
anyone's
I
gonna say Watchmen.
can't figure out how I feel about Watchmen. So I'm gonna take that out. But the rest, oh Jesus.
you got 30 seconds. Decide.
10, 9.
Wait, hold on. We're missing 20
7,
You
seconds.
skipped 20 seconds.
That's
You
the
know
point.
what? I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna join Matthew in doing this one. I'm gonna say the Batman, and that's hard for me to do
O-
because
Over the Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Like, seriously?
of course,
The
I have
Batman is
Batman's
awesome.
my favorite Batman movie.
It's
of course
not
I do.
that it's a bad movie, but the Dark Knight.
It used to
A
be.
lot of people
it used
prefer
to be
the
my
Batman
favorite Batman
over the
movie.
Dark Knight.
Not anymore.
Especially
I
recently.
definitely prefer the Batman over the Dark Knight if you take Heath Ledger out of the equation. Heath Ledger is the thing
Yeah.
that stands out in
Yes,
the Dark Knight.
100%.
He
That's
does.
why I was going to
He
say.
does for sure.
If it wasn't for Heath Ledger, the Batman is the Dark Knight's a little bit overrated.
Yes, 100%.
I can see where you're coming from for
wow.
Mm.
I do not agree with that one.
sure. Yeah.
I still love it. It's still one of my favorite movies. It's still a little bit overrated.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Heath Ledger,
hmm
Heath
But we all
Ledger is the
agree
one
it's
that
Batman
keeps it.
film.
Yeah.
That's such a crucial element of it. It's like
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like saying
Star Wars without Darth Vader.
yeah, or even like I don't know, like The Godfather without Al Pacino, like or someone like that. Is like that's a pretty. I hate when people do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. Stop it with that. Like the selective shit. Like fucking. We don't have to select the shit.
I just
We
wanted
really
to see
don't,
John
but, like,
suffer.
It's
It
people
was
do that
hard.
just to piss people off.
So
Yes,
many-
that's why I did it.
So many
In general,
so
but,
many
like-
movies that I loved.
But like,
Ugh.
there's movies have crucial elements to them. Like,
Yeah.
and if you take those elements out, they completely turn into different things or like deflate. Like, I know you guys were. I heard you guys talk about Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if you take out it's like saying if Blair Witch Project wasn't found footage and it was just a normal movie. Like you can't really do that
No.
because the movie completely changes. And
Right.
It's
Yeah.
completely different without
Right,
it.
yeah.
So
Then you get Book
Anytime
of
you-
Shadows.
yeah, it's like you can't take out a crucial element, and you can't take out a certain element and say, "Oh, well, the movie sucks now." Like, of course, there's certain elements that make a movie as great as it is.
Right, yeah.
So
And Heath Ledger is what makes The Dark Knight great.
yeah, it's like making it's like making a pizza without like cheese or something like that.
Oh no,
It would just be a flavorless pizza.
I want to be flavorless, but
I mean, I'm sure there's people that eat pizza without cheese,
Yeah.
and I hate those people.
But-
It's a little
yeah.
weird for me.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
Paul and I had pizza earlier.
Homemade pizza from Mrs. Walker.
One quick thing before the topic. I don't think anybody shared this whole digital copy thing.
Oh yeah, we didn't get to that. Nobody except for Paul entered, so Paul's the natural winner.
So there you go. There
Yeah,
you go,
hand-
buddy. Enjoy your digital copy of
It took
Thank
a
you,
long
thank you.
time for that. Really?
Thank you,
no
thank
one
you.
used that?
No,
It's
I'm guessing it's because
very
it's been out for.
shocking.
I'm guessing it's because it's been out for so long. Everybody that wanted it probably had it already.
Makes sense.
But not to worry, there will be another giveaway of another movie for next month. It's going to be the upcoming anniversary of one great comic book movie.
Okay, that is next month.
I have a
Yes.
giveaway as well.
Yeah.
All right.
My giveaway is a signed copy of The First Harvest if this episode gets 100 views in a week.
Ooh,
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh.
sounds pretty fire.
So what are the details of the giveaway?
We have to get 100 views
How are
within a
people
week
gonna
on
enter?
this episode. Within a week.
Yeah, but how are people going to enter?
We'll choose randomly.
We can't see who views us.
Right.
Off of subscribers.
Oh,
To the
okay.
YouTube channel.
Yes.
Any
So,
other random
If you want to enter, make sure to subscribe.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't get our subscribers up.
Okay.
I personally think
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
you should post that on the Paul Allen Network's Facebook page so they can see that too. Which that
Mhm.
should work. We should definitely do that too. So
Yeah, we'll
both the
share it on
podcast, so both the podcast and
Yeah.
Forest Network. So we'll do that.
Actually, we could do a separate video too, announcing the giveaway after.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I also have a couple of very quick film announcements.
Okay.
So we are doing a couple of short films this year. I've already talked about No Paradise and This Cold Black. We're also going to be starting Sister Sullivan later this year as well. Now another short that we might do it this year. I really don't know. It's actually a project that my mother was writing just before she passed. And I formatted it and I already had some people in mind for it. So we're going to film it at some point. I would like to at some point this year, but I doubt. So we're probably going to put it on the dock for next year.
Is the release date announced for the other thing? The thing we've been working on?
I forgot. Sorry, that was bad, especially because no one knows what I'm talking about. So, before we filmed the first harvest, and this was actually well before I even met you, Garrett, Matthew and I were filming something to be released before the first harvest was released. And then we had some issues with the audio where we lost the audio for pretty much the entire third act. And we had contemplated different ways to go about it so we could still release it. We thought about doing ADR. I even had a couple of people do ADR for it. It just didn't really work out. We were talking about reshooting it. But, we had so much we were working on at once, and I didn't want to add anything else to anyone's plate. And then we started, pushing the first harvest, and then it got released. And, one complaint that I have seen about the first harvest is, it seems like there are details missing. And that was because those details were elaborated on in this project, and nobody got to see it. But over the last year, just as I've had time, I've been working on formatting it as a silent film, and I finally finished it, and it's going to be releasing this coming Friday, the 31st.
Nice.
Hell yes.
I've sent it around to a few people just to write honest reviews about it, and the unanimous consensus is that it is very unnerving. It makes people feel uneasy, and it honestly makes the harvester look more terrifying. Which was the point. The harvester was not supposed to be scary in the first harvest. And that is a context that people would have missed had they not seen this footage. There's character development that people didn't get to see. But now we have it, it's coming out, and people are going to get to see it, and I'm really excited. Because the stuff that we did for this was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Let's just say that poor Derek. Poor Derek cannot catch a break as Jerry in my work.
Oh boy.
He just can't.
I told Paul when he posted that he should, when he lists who's playing who, I said, and Derek has bad luck Jerry.
There's also, I would argue that it's more violent than the first harvest.
Yeah.
And definitely I feel like I did the harvester better.
Yeah.
But
And we may or may not be working on more silent films.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that one.
Yeah, you never know.
I'm going to be silent about it.
Dadgummit.
213.
How many puns does Matthew have?
Matthew, from my count, I am missing some episodes. By my count, Matthew currently has 367. Paul has 213. I have 46. John, you have 13. Gavin has 4. Garrett, you have 0, but there is one that I'm considering counting from last week. And The Rock has 1.
In other words, Matthew, you are getting close to 400 puns before the season is over.
Oh, he's going to be there before August.
Oh, joy.
I am catching up.
Barely? You're still like 150 behind.
I'll get
Anyways,
The gap's only getting bigger.
anything
I'll
else you
get
want to
there.
say before we get to the main topic?
No, we're just going to bust straight into this main topic.
Okay.
I'm not counting it. I'm not counting it.
Oh, that was, yeah.
I'm not counting it.
Yeah, we're not counting that.
Because
No.
this
Yeah,
is 90s blockbusters.
I will block you.
I'm not counting it for
Yeah,
the same reason.
no.
Okay, where do we start?
I don't care. Let's just discuss. Well, we know one film that's going to be mentioned.
Of course.
Let's start with Independence Day.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. But I am saving that one movie, Roas. But you have no idea what it is yet. But
Yeah.
otherwise, you take it away. But,
Independence Day, I think it's
Yeah.
essential. It's an essential. It's an essential blockbuster, not
Absolutely.
just a 90s blockbuster.
Yes.
I like the first and I'm not even gonna talk about the second
Yeah,
one.
no, we don't need to.
That's-
No.
The less said about the better.
Yeah.
I
thought
like.
it was
I think
okay.
I like the first Independence Day. I don't have the love for it like a lot of people do.
I watch every 4th
I-
of July.
I try to watch it every 4th too.
I wonder why.
Like I think, as a movie itself, I'm not really that big into Roland Emmerich's films. I tend to really not like his films at all.
They're very
but-
hit and miss.
But like Independence Day is is the formula that he is known for. Like that, it's the formula that he did the best with Independence Day.
Yeah, I feel like that's his
before-
standout film.
Before he ran it into the ground later on, like that's because I think the actors are what really sell
Yeah.
the film.
The
so good.
chemistry
I mean,
between Will and Jeff.
Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, you can't go wrong.
Awesome cast,
Also,
yeah.
the best movie president of all time
Yes.
with Bill
yeah,
Pullman.
yeah,
The best president's speech in any movie.
Yes.
yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you also have characters like Randy Quaid.
He's the old guy, right?
Yeah, no, he's the hello boys,
Yeah.
I'm back.
That's what I'm talking about. The probe guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
you said,
yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
said old guy.
Well, he
Okay.
is older, yeah.
But
Yeah,
no, that's Judd Hirsch who you're thinking of.
Oh,
But
no, I'm
I'm
thinking
loving
the
it,
guy who
awesome.
got probed.
yeah. And you also have a few other people like Brent Spiner who show up briefly.
I forgot he was in that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Release
Oh
Man-
yeah.
Yeah. He was the quack
God.
scientist.
To go,
Wow.
I'll go into the second one briefly. God, the second one is one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Yes.
I still need to watch it.
It's horrible. It's so bad.
I didn't think it was horrible. I
The-
thought it was
the way
okay.
the way that they use Brent Spiner in that movie is one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. Especially the last line.
I don't typically call movies train wrecks.
That movie
It's
is
a train wreck.
a $100 million train wreck. Is
Yes.
that movie? Yeah, one of the worst like reboot sequels ever
Yes.
made. That movie immediately comes to mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, Independence Day I think is a lot of fun, even to this day. And the sequence where the ships blow up the landmarks is still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really well done sequence. I mean,
Yes.
not just because of the effects, but like it feels suspenseful in the scene, and the effects aren't just CG in that sequence, and because they do blow up a lot of like models in that scene.
Yeah.
Because they try to do as much in camera as they could with the time that it came out in 1996, and with the budget they had.
Right.
So
And with the second one, as they said in the first one, I hope they bring back Elvis. If you were wondering about the second one, they did not bring back Elvis.
and now here's a question, because Will Smith's character's son is in the second one.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's awful. He's
Yes.
terrible but would it have been better or worse with Jaden Smith playing that role?
I don't know.
Probably worse.
I have
but-
not seen
because
After Earth.
because I know
so-
that actor can
It's
be.
not as bad as people say.
I know that actor. I can't remember who plays this. Was it Jesse T. Usher who plays him in Independence Day 2? I believe it
think
was.
so.
It was one of the first roles I saw him in.
Yeah.
And Jesse T. Usher's in The Boys, right?
Yeah,
A-Train.
Yeah.
And everyone loves him in that show.
Yes. Yeah. Can't wait for him to come back.
Yeah, I'm sure if it's Jesse T. Maybe it was just it was bad. If that role was terribly written and it was poorly directed. Maybe it was Let's see.
But what I was going
Yes.
to tell you, you say Rowan Emmerich is hit and miss. Wait till we get to Moonfall when we watch it. Wait
Well,
till
that's
we get to that.
Not in the 90s, but that is a train wreck as well.
Yeah.
Jesse T. Usher, yes.
Oh, so it
yeah.
was him. Okay. Yeah. Definitely not a strong first impression for me when I first saw him, but like the recent things I've seen him in, I like him just fine.
Yeah, no, he's
Right.
great.
But yeah, I think I have one that I want to bring up. Actually, two. One of them is a film from one of the most iconic, over-the-top action directors of all time, John Woo, and that's why I want to get into Face Off.
Yes.
One of the
I need
most
to
fun,
watch that.
one of the most fun Nick Cage action films for sure. and the duo performance of John Travolta and Nick Cage in that film is something to behold. And if you haven't seen it, you're really missing out.
I'll definitely watch it.
And I love, not only is the action in that film ridiculously over the top and fun. I mean, honestly, the action in that film is less over the top than what he did with Mission Impossible 2. John Woo is just insane. He's a madman. But
the only thing that was missing was a cage match.
well, he does
It's
have a
what,
match in a
368?
prison. So
368.
yep. Yeah, I love Face Off. And when the two actors play each other, because their faces get swapped. So Nick Cage is playing John Travolta, and John Travolta is playing Nick Cage. You know, I think they both do it incredibly well. Nick Cage, you know, becomes more. I mean, both actors are incredibly over the top in their different ways.
Right.
I mean, just watch John Travolta in Battlefield Earth. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I watched
But,
it. I hate that movie.
It's a terrible
I wanna
movie.
rewatch
I mean,
it
but
at some
it's fun
point.
in certain it's
I wanna
fun in
check it
certain
out.
aspects. When you were just learning how to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies.
That line was so
I mean,
bad.
yeah, John Travolta is of course hamming it the fuck up when
Yeah.
he plays when
Yeah.
he's is it Castor Troy and Nick who's Nick Cage's character. Yeah, and Sean Archer is John Travolta's character, and they swap each other. John Travolta is of course hamming it up as portraying Nick Cage as the crazy terrorist. But Nick Cage, I think, does a tremendous job of also playing it more subtly when he's John Travolta is in Face Off. Yeah, I think that's actually one of his better acting performances in one of his action movies. Nick Cage's.
Yeah, I have a suggestion about John Travolta. Christopher Nolan or Steven Spielberg, can you please save his career? Please, I'm begging you. He's
Are
been
you
John
wait,
Travolta. He's been there.
Yeah.
He's been doing nothing
Yeah.
but trash movies.
The Fanatic. Good God.
I heard it's so bad too.
That
Oy.
movie, it's horrible. It's so much fun to watch
Yeah.
in all the wrong ways.
That's a conversation for
Um,
another day.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. I just know he was really rolling in that. He just kept rolling.
dude, you do not even know.
Yeah.
The first line
Fred
that he
Durst.
says in that movie, because he goes into like a movie memorabilia shop and he says, "I can't talk too long. I gotta poo." That's your introductory line
Yeah.
to this character in The Fanatic.
Hell?
And it's also directed by Fred Durst.
I know, that's why I said
Don't-
rolling,
Yeah.
don't let me get.
From Lip
Oh,
Biscuit
yeah.
of all things.
You made me go limp with that
And
one.
Also, weird side note. I saw the TV Glow. When I watched it, I didn't realize this until I read a review. Fred Durst plays almost a cameo role in that movie. I saw the TV Glow. And I
What?
did not even recognize him. I think he has maybe one or two lines, and he's a very minor character. Just wanted to throw that out there.
That's
Fred
crazy.
Durst is in that movie.
And the Fanatic, did all the action take place behind blue eyes?
Stop it! I'm just telling you, stop it. You're pushing your button with this episode.
So Matthew's now at 370. Paul's at 214.
I guess that's what happens when they give me the mic.
Shut up. Dylan,
Shut
this
up.
is torture.
Give me your mic.
371.
Give me your mic. Give it.
The other movie I wanted
Yes,
to
give him the mic.
the other movie I wanted to go into is Speed,
Yes.
which one of Keanu's best action films.
It is.
And it was I think it was the first movie that really put him on the map. I mean, he was already pretty big before that, but in Parenthood, Bill and Ted, and what was the Point Break. But yeah, I think Speed is one of the most entertaining action films of the 90s.
It definitely is.
One
His,
of the,
his
like,
performance
one-
relieves me. I forget where I was going with that. Ignore me.
goddamn dude.
Well, I'm not banking it because
Um,
you didn't finish it.
No, yeah, not Keanu is. I think that was the first. It reminded me. I got reminded of the movie. Because if you watch Chris Stuckman, he likes to do those feature presentation videos, and he brought up Speed because, he mentioned in his review of it.
We can't forget
the-
about Speed 2.
Fuck me. Oh God.
I have not yet
Reeves
watched the
me
original.
speechless.
I tried watching that movie. I got 30 minutes in. I'm like, this is painful.
2:15.
This is painfully boring.
I,
And it's
I
not
haven't watched
even
it.
it's not even fun bad. It's just like aggressively bland. It's horrible.
Come see a movie with us.
And not even
boats.
a crazy Willem Dafoe performance can save it. That's how bad it is.
I gotta watch the original first before I watch that. dreadful sequel.
Speed. Chris Stuckman put it in his whenever he talks about Speed, has the perfect 3-act structure because each of the 3 acts takes place. Each of the 3 acts is an action sequence in a different spot. The first act is in an elevator. Second act is in the bus, and then the third act is in the subway. And each of those action sequences are thrilling. I mean,
Nice.
the entire part on the bus is just thrilling in every way. The performances are great. And what's his name? Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. What's the actor's name? I'm blanking.
Talking about Alan.
Alan Ruck.
Yes, Ruckman.
Alan. I think it's just Alan Ruck.
Is
I
it
believe.
Ruck?
I think it's Ruckman.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or you're probably thinking of Alan. It's Alan Ruck.
Okay.
Oh.
Alan Rickman.
We're thinking Rickman, yeah.
We're combining those two. But no,
So close.
Alan Ruck is actually in two very famous, actually 2 very famous 90s action films directed by the same guy, Jan de Bont, because Jan de Bont after that did Twister,
Right.
and Alan Ruck is in both movies. So
He was in Generations.
in
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was.
He was going to be the new captain of the Enterprise.
yeah, that's right.
That blew me away. That was one thing that sorry,
Wait.
I didn't mean to interject.
Oh no,
No,
you're
you're right.
That was actually
Cameron
one thing that I
was
forgot
in
to.
Egypt's land. By Cameron.
That
go.
was one of the things I wanted to mention on the Star Trek episode was there were a lot of cameos that I didn't expect. So Alan Ruck was one of them. Adam Scott was in one of them.
Oh yeah,
He was in one of the
First
TNG ones.
Actually, he was in First Contact. Wasn't
Yes,
he?
yeah, I believe so.
I caught that when I watched it. I was like,
Yeah, I was like, son
is
of a
that Adam
bitch,
Scott?
really?
yes, I love Adam Scott.
There's another one that I'm totally blanking on, but I totally forgot to mention that. I got super excited when I was watching Star Trek movies and saw them.
Right.
Yeah, and last thing to mention about Speed, aside from how thrilling it is, especially the bus stuff, Dennis Hopper is the villain.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with him.
True.
Monkey.
Still need to watch it.
Speaking of blowing away, Twister.
Well, there you go.
And you might as well just take up 30 minutes for this.
I know, Matt.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know,
No.
Matthew, you are a nervous wreck of Twisters. You're hoping it's going to be good, but you don't know how you're going to feel about it.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode. I'm just gonna
Exactly,
love
which I can't wait to talk about that one. That's going to be fun. I'm going to rewatch Twister. I'm going to rewatch it.
Twister is one of my all-time favorite movies. It is
It sucks.
nice. It is the second highest grossing movie of '96, behind Independence Day.
Yeah, both movies came out that year.
Yeah,
A coincidence? I don't think so.
I
It-
mean, would you consider Independence Day a disaster movie?
Yes.
in a way, yeah,
An alien disaster movie?
yeah.
They're new. Leave me alone.
Yeah, the late 90s that was the superhero genre of the 90s.
Yes.
Was disaster
Yeah.
movies.
One of the other movies I'm going to mention. Yeah, Twister had groundbreaking special effects for the time.
Yeah.
Really tore the house down.
Yes.
Do we really have to do this like every other line?
Yes.
217.
Just
Yes.
why, dude? Why?
I got to catch up.
At 217.
Um,
I'm done for now.
For now.
While you can't say it's like Oscar worthy, it's
No.
a fun movie,
It is.
and the performances, like the chemistry between the actors, is
the
great.
thing that I think, the one thing that does annoy me, is I love Bill Paxton. I love Helen Hunt. I just think their constant arguing with each other throughout the movie does kind of get on my nerves.
I find it amusing though at the same time.
I don't know. It's you know, it's a thing I kind of. I think the Abyss did that too, and it kind of got on my nerves more. I didn't really like how that it's a cliche. It's a common cliche, and it's one of my least favorite cliches.
Best performance of the movie though was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, clearly.
He is a treasure in that movie.
And
Fashionably Late again, Jonas. Give me a kiss, buddy. Loser, move on.
And also a tremendous soundtrack for that.
Yes.
For that movie too.
Shine on, long
well,
way down.
the song is not actually. It's not called.
It's Humans Being. Yeah.
Humans Being.
Also, long way down by the Goo Goo Dolls, which
Yep.
I felt so stupid when I first found out about this. One of my favorite bands, they're actually from Indiana. They're called Haste Today. They covered that song on their album When Everything Falls. I never picked it up. That song was obviously made popular by Houston Twister. On the CD cover art, the sky is green. I never picked that up.
I've seen maybe a couple actual tornadoes in my life. I can't remember the sky actually turned. Is that
It sometimes
sky
happens.
Yeah.
That's a weird phenomenon because I usually
I seen it here a few weeks ago because I think I told you like there was a twister that touched down like 3 miles down the road,
okay.
and I actually seen the green sky in that direction.
Really?
Right before I heard the confirmed touchdown.
Does anyone know why it does? Why that?
I
might
don't
occur?
know.
No idea.
It's I'm gonna try my best to explain this while being overstimulated by the obnoxious noise outside. It has to do partially with temperature and how it interacts with the particles in the air.
That's interesting.
Now, what are they gonna call? Because in the first one, it's Dorothy is the machine. What are they gonna call?
I think it's still Dorothy.
Is it still Dorothy and
Yeah.
Twisters?
I think it's called Dorothy 4 or something.
Dorothy
Okay.
2.
'Cause,
Dorothy 2.0.
yeah, incredible soundtrack. The chemistry between the actors are great.
Mhm. Wait. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when what's her name?
Melissa,
When she asks, "What's an F5?"
everybody gets so serious.
And was he say the eye of God or something?
The
or
finger of God.
Finger of God. Yeah. It's such a dramatic moment.
Now I need to really rewatch it.
There's a moment I really love, but I don't want to get into it because it's kind of graphic. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm assuming
I haven't seen Twister in
kinda,
fucking
kinda,
ever.
yeah.
where she's like she didn't only marry your.
I think I know what you're talking about. All right.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Never mind.
But
It makes me bummed out that we're not going to ever get a Twister between. That makes me bummed out that we're never going to get a crossover between Twister and Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, Devil's anus.
But yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman best performance. Gone too soon.
Both
Yes.
both Bill Paxton and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Effects were great. I am very nervous for the second one.
I think I honestly have high hopes for it because the director did Minari a few years ago, which I thought I loved. It was an A24 movie, got a ton of Oscar nominations. Heard that they actually shot on film, which is cool.
There's an actress from Indianapolis that's actually going to be in it.
Who?
Katie O'Brien.
Oh yeah, she is. In that.
cool.
And she's been getting a lot of work recently.
Yeah,
She has. Holy crap.
She's great in Love Lies Bleeding. If you haven't seen that,
I've not.
And you have two extremely charismatic and likable leading stars with Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones, who I think is also great. I think it's going to be at least entertaining.
Yes.
And it has potential to actually be quite great.
Yes.
In my opinion. So,
I got one more
We'll
to
see.
mention, and then you guys could take it away the rest of the episode. I really don't want to miss a thing with this one.
okay.
Armageddon.
Yep.
I was thinking you were going to say that.
Yeah.
So do you prefer Armageddon over Deep Impact?
Definitely.
Okay.
Armageddon's just a fun movie.
Deep Impact is mostly just kind of dull.
Yeah, it is. Armageddon is fun. It's just
Deep
really
Impact
fun.
now Deep Impact has the more kind of depressing ending.
Yeah.
What everyone actually dies. So
Well, Armageddon's kind of depressing in a way, but
it
not
is.
bad.
It is. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I love the part at the beginning where Bruce Willis is looking for Ben Affleck, and he finds his daughter in bed with him, and he's like, "Stay right here. I'll be right back." Then he shows back up with a shotgun, and the other guy's like, "Isn't this illegal? Murder's still illegal, right?" He's like, it's temporary insanity. It's all right.
I've been wanting to watch Armageddon, even though I don't like.
Yeah, I
Michael
love the
Bay.
cast in Armageddon. Bruce Willis. That was actually Michael Clark Duncan's first role.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was. Bruce Willis was actually the one who really. I think he was the one who really pushed for him.
So he went straight from that to Mile.
Green Mile. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and actually Bruce Willis was the one who really got him the pushed him for the his part as John Coffey. So
Armageddon's a lot of fun. It's ridiculous, but it's
it
fun.
is. It's
I heard
it's
it's
freaking
ridiculous,
it's
but I
Michael,
agree
it's
with
Michael
Ellis.
Bay. It's a Michael Bay movie revolving.
I feel like it's one
around
of Michael
an
Bay's
asteroid.
best movies, though.
It is.
Because a lot of Michael Bay movies are just bad.
They are. Yeah. What was the other? Oh, someone needs to mention this. The Rock, which was another Nick Cage action film, and one of, in my opinion, Michael Bay's best movie.
That's
from
what a lot of people say.
1996.
Which surprisingly did not star The Rock.
No.
I think
yeah,
he was a little too young for that.
The Rock.
He could have
The
not.
Rock is just.
Yeah.
The Rock is Michael Bay's stuff done to perfection, I think,
Yeah.
because not only it has ridiculous action, but it also has extraordinarily great character actors, and it has just great performances. I mean, you have Sean Connery, who's just incredible in everything. Nick Cage is the goofy, eccentric, science nerd who gets to have his badass moments. And you also have a really compelling villain too with Ed Harris, whose motivations actually make sense when you actually know what he's doing. The Rock is just if you are not a fan of Michael Bay and you haven't seen The Rock, I would watch The Rock. The Rock, in my opinion, is Michael Bay's best movie.
Did it rock you?
It did.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Viewers and
372.
viewers and
Paul, you
listeners,
got
we
any
are
on your
so
mind?
sorry.
No, yeah,
You're just trying to make it through the episode.
yes.
That stuff is still going on.
Yeah, it's getting quite
It
loud
still
out
is.
There's a lot of bass out there too.
Yeah.
there. They're all about that bass.
Yep.
Please don't count that.
I'm not going to.
Dylan, you got any movies on your mind?
Well, I was wondering why nobody mentioned T2.
I was.
It made over
I had that
400
my
million
mind
on a
at the
Oh,
102
yeah.
I
million
forgot that
budget.
was the 90s.
Yeah, 91.
That's
91.
right.
Yeah, it's so
Terminator
early.
2.
Yeah.
Robert Patrick would be disappointed in you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry. Is somebody
Call to John now. Call John.
I need to frame that and hang it in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, after the sci-fi epic thing, anytime
Yeah,
that we have an
exactly.
episode like this, I'm like, okay, did somebody purposely not mention this movie for a reason?
Mhm.
Because you guys didn't tell me that you were saving Star Wars for me.
Well, while
Can
I'm
we,
thinking
now,
of
I know it's technically in the 90s. Do we have to mention Phantom Menace?
Yes, 99.
Yeah.
it, that's what I was going to say, not Phantom Menace, but going the other end of the 90s, I almost forgot The Matrix, too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll talk T2 and then we'll go to The Matrix.
Yeah, let's get into T2.
No, go ahead. I'm not the biggest lover of the Terminator franchise. Just for clarification. But I know that you guys really.
What were
do.
your thoughts on T2?
No, I like T2. No, I'm not one. I'm not somebody who's like, oh, well, T2's ass. No, it's the best movie in the franchise.
And
one of the
that's-
best action movies.
It's the movie where they should have stopped after and just because that franchise went so downhill after that.
Robert Patrick was great in that.
One of the best movie villains ever.
Yeah.
I
I love him in Peacemaker, too.
Yeah, no,
Robert
he kicked
Patrick,
ass on that one. Holy
it's
crap.
not. I mean, not only are the action scenes just so well put together. I mean, James Cameron's like action sensibilities, I think, are at full best display in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also
100%.
Aliens.
So many of the greatest action scenes of all time are in Terminator 2. I mean, the motorcycle chase in the
Canals.
canals,
Yeah.
one of the all-time greats because it's all happening for real. They're actually driving trucks and motorcycles down there.
Yeah.
Come with me.
One
if
of
you want to
the
live.
coolest just machismo things when Arnold is shooting that giant minigun outside Cyberdyne at all the cops. Just so badass. And
Don't forget the classic. I need your clothes, your
Yep.
boots,
And
and
your
your
motorcycle.
Yep. and also just the effects on the T1000 are just still, even for
Yeah.
91,
They still hold up.
They're
still-
amazing.
not because back then, liquid metal, it would make sense for that not to look. CGI works better with that kind of like shiny, material like
Yeah.
liquid metal, and it still to this day it looks phenomenal. And
Yeah,
and
it looks great.
there are a few iffy effects moments in T2. There's a part that I'm shocked, even with all the great effects in the film. There's a part near the end where they're driving to that factory where they have that last big climax, and there's a shot where Arnold is jumping from a truck and he's like doing a little somersault onto the ground, and it's definitely the worst effect in the film because it happens so quickly. It almost looks like it's hand drawn, almost like because Arnold's jumping from the truck and doing a flip on the ground. It happens quickly, and that's why it doesn't leave that much impression, but it definitely sticks out like a sore thumb when I watch it again. But yeah, T2, not just one of the best action films, I consider it one of the best films ever made.
Yes.
Because you really do give a shit about the characters.
Yeah.
Arnold has such a great arc in it, learning humanity, and honestly, still to this day, an ending scene that I have no problem crying at.
I will say it's more of an. I think it's an independent film, actually. Well, not. I think it was made by a studio, but it's a lower budget film. If you want to see Arnold's best acting, there's a movie called Maggie.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't think I watched it all the way through, but I definitely
I think
heard
that's his
about
best acting.
Yeah.
it. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, The Matrix. Another
Whoa.
one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yep. Because the ideas in the Matrix, weren't the Matrix didn't create all the ideas that it talked about, like all fake realities and what free will means, but it was the one where it was the one that really popularized all the ideas, because there was an anime that a lot of the ideas in the Matrix came from. I can't remember. Either it was
wasn't Ghost in the Shell, was it?
It wasn't Ghost in the Shell. I think it might have been Perfect Blue.
That sounds
Actually, that's more Inception. Actually, what Perfect Blue. But yeah, just so many. I mean, you can't even count how many iconic moments there are in the Matrix.
Yeah.
The first one. I mean, how many shots or how many movies in the 2000s ripped off the Matrix? You can't even count. You can't even count how many movies ripped that off.
And Zack Snyder praises the Wachowskis. All hail the slow-mo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why wasn't half the movie like this? I'm going to change this personally.
How much do you want to bet Zack Snyder has a framed picture in his house of that slow-motion shot with the bullets going over?
He probably does. Oh, he probably
has
does.
every single moment like that, from the part where Agent Smith and Neo are jumping at each other, shooting the guns. When Trinity does her
the
kick,
360 moment.
I'm pretty sure that's like a shrine in Zack Snyder's
He's got
office
he's got one of those video photo frames.
Yeah,
and it just
exactly.
plays that.
Yep.
Speaking of the Matrix, real quick, and then one of you guys can get into another film. The game Multiversus.
Yes. Yeah.
Just
added
Agent
Jason.
Smith is in it.
Jason,
And
Agent
Jason.
Smith, and Joker.
Yeah.
Jason I'm glad. I'm happy that Jason's in it.
He looks so goofy though.
He looks weird.
Oh my gosh.
He's got like hair on the back of his head.
Well,
The
he's
body's so
always had some
disproportionate.
hair.
Yeah.
He looks like Kingpin from Spider-Verse. That's
Well,
what
yeah,
he
because
looks
they're
like.
cartoons. I mean,
I don't know.
They characterize all the designs in the game for obvious reasons. They want everything to fit.
I mean, Arya Stark in the game.
the people that are supposed to be like legit humans, like there's nothing fucking weird about them. Like they look okay, but like they're all supposed to be characterized. Plus, there's Scooby-Doo levels on there, and that version of Jason looks so good in Scooby-Doo style. holy crap, it fits really well. No, I love the aesthetic of the new Jason. I'm not the biggest fan of the new Joker.
I still don't know why they put Velma as one of the playable characters. Literally any other
Well-
Scooby-Doo character would have been better than Velma.
Yeah,
I mean, you already have
confused
you have
me.
Shaggy.
Right.
Yeah.
I would have put Fred or Daphne. 'Cause at
Should have
least-
put Scrappy.
But Velma, I don't have a problem with Velma at all being in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
puppy power.
Let me at him.
Swear
They
to God,
better
if
put
they
Scrappy in later.
I swear to God,
Please.
I'm never gonna play that game again if they do that. I hate Scrappy Doo. I hate Scrappy.
I do too.
I've been seeing a lot of love for Scrappy recently on Twitter. I
Really?
don't know why.
Why?
Well,
I don't get it.
There's I
fucking
think
annoying.
it was there's a big Scooby Doo account that went on like a whole tangent about it. They were like, yeah, no, this is the reason why I hate all the negativity towards Scrappy Doo. And it basically boils down to the public image about Scrappy was completely fine up until the live action Scrappy Doo movie. He
Why do you
was
thi-
not
well, why
that
do you
bad
thi-
or annoying.
Why do you
up
think they
until that
made him
point.
the villain in that?
Because James Gunn hated him. That's the reason why. He hated Scrappy Doo.
Yep.
You know we're gonna be doing a review of the Netflix season when it comes out.
Oh yeah, we gotta do that.
Netflix is doing a live action Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
No.
Oh, right. That's right.
Is it confirmed to be?
Mr. Incorporated.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Because
They said they were taking a break for a while, and when they came back, it would be they wouldn't have as much time.
Well,
in
they
between
gotta look at
episodes.
Velma and
Huh.
examine everything that show did wrong and not do that for that show.
There's a fan series that released one episode
Yeah.
that got millions and millions of views.
yeah, it
You
looks.
and I
It's
watched it.
good.
Hopefully,
It's really
I,
nice.
I bet that's better than anything in Velma.
Yeah, but they said on their Instagram page like 2-3 years ago that it's going to be a while before they release another episode. But when they do come back, they've got a huge announcement, and episodes are going to come out a lot more frequently.
Yeah.
And they said they're not going to have to fundraise anymore. So I'm thinking the fan series got picked up by Netflix. Is what it is.
Which is that's something I'm really hoping for because
It's so good.
it really needs that. It's
Yeah.
great.
I still want the R-rated Scooby-Doo 3.
I did too.
Yeah, please bring
Scooby
back
Apocalypse.
bring them back. Oh my gosh. Wait, have you read that comic series?
Not yet.
Oh, it's so good.
We got so
Ugh.
we're getting so sidetracked.
Yeah, let's go back.
My bad.
I'm doing
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I can go next.
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it.
Okay. I was thinking in my head. Well, I already got one in my head already, but I think I have at least 5 of them that's actually on there, and I'm hoping it counts as blockbusters. So God help me if I don't have any bad takes.
Big scale movies of the 90s.
Okay. One I personally think is a. Whoa! What was that?
That's what I get for stimming.
Oh, okay. Okay. One of my list of blockbuster is the. I don't understand why critics don't like it. Die Hard with a Vengeance. I have to put that on the list.
I think that's more critics didn't like it at the time.
Yeah, but now it's starting to grow into saying it's one of the greatest action movie franchises of all time. But yeah, that's an awesome.
I don't know
blockbuster
know
film.
anyone who dislikes Die Hard.
I
3.
know it's weird. That's an awesome blockbuster when it comes to action movies. And Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis, amazing
Yeah.
chemistry. They
Yep.
are awesome, and I love the action in this
I
movie.
need to rewatch all the Die Hard movies again.
Yeah, me too.
Man, that last one is so hard to get through. Die Hard
I didn't
5.
mind it.
You really? You
I
I
actually-
didn't?
didn't like it, but I didn't mind it.
Oh
I
God!
I
it was
I
it was a
liked it.
betrayal of everything I liked about the series. Literally,
It wasn't that bad. I liked it.
John McClane should not be like invincible. That's the point of the first 3, especially. Like Die Hard 4, they did that a little bit, but not to the extent that they did that in 5. Or just like, and Jai Courtney, I like Jai Courtney. I can't fucking stand him in that movie.
What do you mean?
He's so-
John is invincible.
He definitely
That's
thinks he
the
is.
wrong John, Matthew. I'm
That
not
was
in this
so
movie.
desperate.
I am not in that movie, dude.
But yeah,
But anyway,
Die Hard 5 fucking sucks.
I didn't think it sucked. I liked it. Not as good as the last 4 movies, but anyway.
Die Hard 4, I think is Die Hard 4 and 5 definitely stick out like sore thumbs compared to the first. I'm not even that. I actually like Die Hard 4 more than 2.
Yeah, I love 4.
Interesting.
Die Hard 2 I like, but it's definitely not the one that
4
I
is my
like,
second
feel like
favorite.
watching.
Right. But yeah, I love
yeah.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. Next I have on the list, The Fugitive,
Yes.
which I loved. That is definitely a blockbuster. It's a awesome action / chase film where Harrison Ford tried to get away from the police. It's great.
I didn't kill my wife.
I don't care. Hey, we said it at the same time. High five. But yeah, it's great.
It's a great movie.
It deserved those Oscar nominations for a reason. It is a awesome movie, and yeah, it's absolutely great. Okay. These next two actually came to me. Which I'm gonna count this as the blockbuster. It's another Harrison Ford film, Air Force One.
Yeah, that's a fun. Get
Okay.
off my plane.
Yeah, get off my plane.
That's
It's
a blockbuster.
yeah.
And also,
Yeah, it's
Gary Oldman
it's
as
Die Hard
the
on a
villain.
plane with a president. What's so awesome about that movie? It's awesome. I love it.
That sounds pretty presidential.
It does have a pretty
Jesus
Air Force.
Christ.
Air Force One is a really fun movie.
It is.
It does have a really bad CGI plane crashing.
Yes.
I think everyone can agree on that. It looks pretty bad.
I honestly
It definitely
I-
looks Nintendo 64-y.
really. I need to watch it a second time because I
came
personally
out-
think it's not
when
that
did it
bad.
come out? Like
97.
97. Yeah. Yeah. CG.
Yeah.
Not the best.
Oh,
place.
wait a minute. This movie just came to my mind. True Lies
Oh yeah.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Another
How
James
did I
Cameron.
forget that one? Yeah, True Lies.
That's
Fantastic
definitely-
James Cameron movie.
I mean, people love it for sure, but it's definitely. It seems to me like people, whenever they talk about James Cameron, that movie always slips under people's minds.
That's so weird, though. It's great.
Because it is. Yeah. You also one of Bill Paxton's best like side roles
Yeah.
he's ever had.
Finally got a digital / 4K Blu-ray release.
Finally,
Thank God.
Because that movie was like, it took forever for that to get like any kind of like Blu-ray. Or,
That and The Abyss.
yeah, definitely. I don't know why. Like, why is there? I don't know why there's not a rush to put like any of James. Well, aside from one, Piranha 2, his first movie, but
Oh, God.
which even he will likely
Yeah.
not even want to bring it
Yeah.
because he was. I think he. I haven't seen it. I just know it's bad. But
But I love True Lies.
but
it's
he was
fantastic.
actually. I think he was actually fired like halfway through production.
Yeah.
on
I've
Piranha
only
2.
seen those other two disasters, the remakes.
The Piranha movies?
Yeah.
like Piranha 3D and 3
Yeah.
Double D. Yeah. Fuck
3
those.
Double D was dumb.
Oh, so bad.
But anyway, but yeah, I absolutely love True Lies. Okay, I got two more. I need to make sure from Paul if this counts as a blockbuster. Does Star Trek First Contact count?
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because I got to at least mention my favorite of the Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
I love First Contact. I mean, that might be Patrick Stewart's best performance, honestly.
the line must be drawn.
Certainly one of them,
Yeah.
At least.
I love it. The spy elements, the action, the sci-fi.
also James
it's great.
James Cromwell.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the whole thing. Like I was,
Mhm.
like I said, I was just enjoying myself. I was thinking, okay, this is really awesome. So absolutely love that one. But of course, if I had to talk about the '90s blockbuster, all blockbusters, Jurassic Park.
There it is.
Yes, Jurassic Park. If there's a definition of '90s blockbusters, Jurassic Park is on the list. What makes this movie so awesome? Awesome cast? Check. Dinosaurs? Check. Great catchphrases? Check. Great chases? Check. Everything you need for a Jurassic Park movie.
And it's still like when people talk about like CG now, Jurassic Park pretty much established the
it still
benchmark
looks
for what CG can do.
amazing.
It still does.
yeah.
It still looks great.
It does.
Most of the shots in there still like really hold up.
Yeah.
Because they really not because they also use a mix of digital and practical effects. Like
Yeah.
anytime they could get close up, anytime they get close up to a dinosaur like the T-Rex, that's always an animatronic. Anytime that like they really need the dinosaurs to like run or move quickly,
Yeah.
that's always CG.
It's awesome.
But like the rest of
Yeah.
the time, it's all puppets and stuff, which is great.
Matthew is gonna hate me for this. Possibly. I actually know the lady who did the makeup and visual effects
Holy crap! Really?
for Jurassic Park.
That's
How'd
awesome.
you meet her?
She lives in Connorsville
Really?
Holy
Oh,
shit!
Why would I hate you for that?
because you'd be jealous.
Well,
Huh.
yes.
I did
Yeah,
not know that.
she lives in Connorsville, Indiana, and she actually used to run a haunted attraction there.
Oh.
Cool.
Nice.
She doesn't anymore, but
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
If we did a
That's
Jurassic Park episode, could we get her on the episode?
maybe.
That would be awesome.
I talk to her every once in a while. I almost got her to do the makeup and effects for First Harvest.
Oh
That
wow,
was awesome.
that's really cool.
And I can't believe no one's even considered. I don't know if anyone's considered bringing this up. The highest grossing film of all time at
yep.
the time,
Yeah.
Titanic.
That was going to be one of the ones that I was going to toss out
was
there.
it?
Yeah.
I know. I doubt it's any of our favorite movies.
No.
Matthews.
But
I still have not yet watched it yet. I
you haven't
want
seen
to.
Titanic?
I want to though. Yeah.
I thought
Wow.
you liked rom-coms.
All I
I
know
mean,
is
it's
that
long,
famous
but-
painting scene. That's all I know.
Oh, that's probably why you haven't seen it.
I
Okay.
once watched it while on a date. It was a good icebreaker.
It's a good date movie.
I don't know. I feel like they're like song.
No,
273
I know-
and 218 respectively.
I understand it's like Titanic is a cheesy movie, especially now. But like, it's the kind of cheese that I get into, and it's a cheese that apparently everyone got into because it was the highest grossing movie of all time until James Cameron topped himself again.
Yep.
But no, I still really enjoy Titanic. I think the actors all do a great job. It was the movie that really put Leo
I would probably like
on the
it.
map forever. I think Kate Winslet is great in it. I love what's his name?
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane.
Mm.
Billy Zane as just giving a really just over the top, almost Bond villain-esque performance. And yeah, I love Billy Zane in general. And apparently he's gonna play Marlon Brando in an upcoming biopic.
Oh,
and just watch,
dude.
look at the pictures of him and tell me that is not Marlon Brando.
I don't even need to see the
You
pictures
just need
of
to
it.
look. You just need to
I
look
can
it
tell.
up because he actually does look kind of like Marlon Brando.
He's gotta. He has a lot of
Yeah.
the facial structure of it.
Remind me to tell you a story later about Titanic.
Are you going to talk about Legends of Tomorrow?
No, it's
okay.
something else.
Okay.
You're gonna go big laugh at this.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm worried now.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
but
But that's all I got. So there you go.
I like Titanic, and I think it's still like the visual effects still look great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
And it does feel like it's a movie that feels as big as it is, or as long as it is. So
And yet Neil deGrasse Tyson was so upset about the stars not being accurate.
oh yeah, that's right.
It's one of my favorite pieces of trivia because the only reason why I found out about that is because when Seth MacFarlane was making Ted, he reached out to Neil deGrasse Tyson. It was like, hey, so we have a shot of the stars in this movie. Can you make sure that it's accurate to the date that this scene takes place on? Neil deGrasse
Good
Tyson was like,
night.
fuck you or something.
Wow,
Like-
that's crazy.
Thanks, Neil deGrasse.
You got any movies, Dylan? I know you've been sitting there for a minute waiting.
Well, I mean, obviously, Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I feel like I talk enough about Star Wars. This is one episode where I shouldn't talk a whole lot about Phantom Menace, especially since it's my least favorite.
Yeah.
One of the things that's constantly talked about in the fandom is how we're no longer at the height of the fandom that we were with the prequels.
It was Phantom Menace was like the hype for Phantom Menace like back then. I would time travel to the release
Yeah.
of the movie, like
Same.
just to feel what it was like, because I don't think we've had event movies like Endgame and all that stuff. But,
Yeah.
like, I mean, it was so different. Like
There's so much hatred in fandoms now.
yeah, and I also want to just peek into like when the end credits of the first screenings happened, and I just want to hear what people said back then.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of negativity, and there's still a lot
I feel
of
like the hatred for it didn't really settle in. Like
no,
people,
it was there from the
people.
get-go.
I feel, from what I understand, like people were just happy that we're just happy to see a Star Wars movie.
Well,
or
a lot
new
were.
one.
Yes, a
And
lot were.
I don't feel like the backlash for it really settled in until like a few months after it came out, especially when it hit like home video, where it was just deemed like the worst thing ever.
Well, I mean,
Which is not, but
it's something that we've. I'm not gonna go into it a whole lot because I do want to talk more about Phantom Menace, not just the general community. But it is a thing that people talk about a lot, where a lot of people are now trying to say that there was actually no hate for the prequel trilogy, that fans weren't being complete assholes. And
Come
it's
on.
so it's
on.
ridiculous because when you think about it, every single movie that we've gotten since the very first one, we've had people comment about how bullshit of a movie it was and like harass the people in it.
that whole
Like Empire, people were upset about Darth Vader being Luke's father. Return, people were upset about the Ewoks. Phantom Menace came out, people were upset about Little Annie and Jar Jar Binks.
Boo-hoo.
It's just one of those things where a lot of revisionism has been taking place recently, surrounding the Phantom Menace especially, where people are trying to say that there was no backlash against these movies, that people weren't being harassed, that I'm spacing on his name.
Jake Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best, they were pushed really far by fans and by the media.
Yep.
And a lot of people are trying to be like, oh, well, it was just the media. No, it wasn't, because Jake Lloyd was like, yeah, no, I was having people like harass me when I was with my mom shopping for groceries. Like, that's not the media. That's people. Like, I don't know what the hell to tell you.
It is people, you fucking moron.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jake Lloyd actually lives in Indiana.
Yes,
he
he
at
does.
least, yeah. Is he
I don't know
still in
where,
Indiana? I don't think he is.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he's somewhere else.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
he's. I can't remember if he's currently in a facility or not. I won't say what kind of facility.
Right,
but-
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Let me say
yeah,
this
let's.
real
We
quick.
I
don't
know
have
if
to
he
get
is,
into.
but-
No,
Let
we
me say
don't.
this real
Yeah, he
quickly.
was here.
Jake Lloyd was not terrible in that.
No, he was
I
not.
actually, I think his performance was not good. I'm not saying anything bad about him, because the only two movies I've actually seen him in are Jingle All the Way and Phantom Menace.
I actually
I
love
haven't
Jingle
seen a
All the
whole
He's
Way.
lot
not
of
great.
him outside
He's
of
not
that,
great in
yeah.
Jingle All the Way either. I'm not. I have no personal grief with Jake Lloyd at all. But I can't deny. I can't lie and say that I thought I liked his performance in that, because I didn't.
You don't have a lot to go on with those two movies because they're not. Neither one of them are
No.
great movies.
No.
Jingle
But
All the Way is a classic.
I love Jingle
I
All the Way.
agree. It's
Not for
great.
not because it's a great movie,
Right,
but
it's a fun movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an Arnold Christmas movie.
Put that
Come on.
cookie down.
No!
Who told you can eat my cookies?
Put that cookie down.
No!
And it's also
I gave it 5 stars. I love it.
it's a movie where Arnold punches elves.
It's
yes,
turbo
that's so
time.
great.
Yeah.
We also get Arnold
anyways.
versus Big Show.
Yep.
I like the channel between Phantom Menace and Jingle All the Way.
Where he fights Big Show. I'm gonna deck your halls, bub.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
But no, like all that stuff, like what planet are you fucking living on where you think that the backlash for the prequels didn't happen?
Oh no,
Yeah,
I haven't.
exactly.
I know why that's being said. I know exactly why. It's to justify
You're-
hate for the sequel trilogy. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Because I am of the firm belief that you can criticize every single fucking movie. It
Even
doesn't
ones that
matter
you
how
love.
good it is. It doesn't matter how bad it is. You
Yeah.
can criticize it.
Yeah.
However, I think that people are lost between there having been backlash where some people, like Ahmed Best and Jake Lloyd, were pushed too fucking far by fans.
Yeah.
But that wasn't criticism.
That was like
People are trying to be like, oh, well, no, that was criticism. The sequel trilogy is just fucking sucks. That's the reason why we're so negative about it. And it just pissed me off. I don't want to.
it comes around, goes around.
Exactly. In 10 fucking years,
There's
people are going to be
there's
saying the
gonna
same
be-
fucking shit about sequel trilogy that they're saying about the prequels now.
Social media revisionism is a thing. Like,
Yes, it
seriously,
is.
Like I'm surprised. Like I'm not hearing more how Fant Four Stick is a misunderstood masterpiece. Like I'm serious.
I have defended Fan Four Stick. I will say it. It is my least favorite of all, not all of the Fantastic Four movies, because there's 4 of them.
And most,
94
and none of
one.
them,
Yeah, I was
none
gonna
of them,
say.
none of them are considered like good.
Well,
But-
people like the 2005 one, right?
Yeah,
Not,
okay, I
not
couldn't remember.
really.
King
I
It's,
do.
it's still, it's
No,
still
a lot of people do. A lot of people like it. It's
I
getting
mean,
the same kind of treatment that the prequels did, where the people who grew up with it are the ones talking about it now. It's
I
just-
mean,
it-
it's
it's
still
that thing.
not. I don't consider it a good movie.
That's
I really
fine. No,
don't.
that's fine.
It's
That's
very
your
mid
opinion.
2000 superhero movie.
Yeah.
It's
But
not good, but it's fun.
I just don't. I'm not a fan of that time of super comic book movies. Like in
Right.
That's
general.
fine. It's not for you. That's okay.
I like the 2005 and the 2007 one.
Mhm.
Although what they did to Galactus was an atrocity.
Horrible.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Horrible.
Sorry, we got. My brain's bouncing around everywhere right now. I'm pretty wired today.
You guys are probably used to that by this point.
Yeah, honestly. I just Phantom Menace. To say some really good things about Phantom Menace, even though it's my least favorite Star Wars movie. Phantom Menace did a lot for the fandom. First of all, it brought Star Wars back to the main screen after over 20 years, or almost 20 years. They did that. They started this grand fucking, or well, they didn't start the grand fucking story, but they didn't have to embellish upon what they did before. They didn't have to give us the story of Darth Vader leading up to him being Darth Vader. They didn't have to, but they did. And George Lucas set the canon straight, and he did all this other stuff. But George Lucas was so hands off with Star Wars for so many fucking years. He worked on like the holiday special. He worked on the Ewoks movies. That was about it, other than signing off on books and comic books and video games. He really didn't touch it other than that. No, he came back to the theaters to make this. Granted, the fans ended up running him out of Star Wars by the end of it, but like he gave us such a great thing. I mean, you look at it. Jar Jar Binks really helped set the level for CGI characters in movies today. He did.
Well,
Ahmed Best talks about it all the fucking time. He's like, you really did not fucking see the level that they went with Jar Jar Binks prior to Phantom Menace. You don't. Along with that, George Lucas, who has always been pioneering certain things in the film industry. Always.
Yeah.
He even did it with the prequel trilogy, starting with Phantom Menace.
yeah.
The heavy usage of CGI and of green screens and blue screens, however you have your specific opinions on it. I have mine. I won't talk about it. You can't tell me that he didn't help pioneer the modern usage of it.
Mhm.
Phantom Menace did that. Phantom Menace has contributed so much to the film industry, and it's gone so fucking well. And I just, I don't know. I'm glad that you guys let me bring it up instead of tossing it out there, even though somebody tried ignoring it.
Oh no, I was saving it for you.
No, I was talking to Garrett.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, no.
I still don't
No,
like
no,
it.
no. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, I like the Phantom Menace. It's not. I mean, it's not my favorite Star Wars movie, but I like it.
Yeah, I it's good. I like it. Without the Phantom Menace, we wouldn't have a lot of what we have in the film industry today.
I agree with that. No, it's just certain things that started. I'm not really a fan of, because, I'm just not. I always prefer like on set or on location shooting as much as possible. And even when I watched Revenge of the Sith, as much as I enjoy a lot of the movie, I just get a very sterile feeling from like the settings in it, because it just, I never bought that the characters were actually in the locations like that they were in, like, you know, because it just, I'm never a fan of like how that looks, like even when they're like in like room like fairly simple rooms, it just has a very I just don't feel anything from it, you know.
So,
Oh God, what are you gonna say?
if Christopher Nolan had directed Revenge of the Sith, would the Mustafar fight have took place inside an active volcano?
Yes, it would have.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, it would have.
Yeah.
Do you have any more, Dylan?
No, not really. I most of my thoughts really laid with Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Phantom Menace is just great. Super. Again, it's my least favorite Star Wars movie. Underrated blockbuster.
I'm not going to talk about these. I'll just mention them real quick because this has become a really long episode.
Yes.
The Mummy.
Yes. Oh God, how did I forget the Mummy?
I forgot about that.
The Mummy and GoldenEye.
Oh yeah, Goldeneye.
Yeah, you guys can talk about GoldenEye.
Ushered it.
We can talk about it real quick, yeah.
Ushered in, you know, I think Martin Campbell directed two of the most important Bond movies. You know, because he directed Goldeneye, and then he later went on to do Casino Royale.
My favorite Bond movie.
Me too, and I'll talk more about it
When we do
that
our Bond
episode. But yeah, Goldeneye rocks, and not just because the video game. But I just think Goldeneye as the movie itself really works because
It does.
it brought Bond back from being the overly silly days of the Roger Moore era, and not I like certain movies in the Roger Moore era, but actually the Timothy Dalton movies were in between
Yes.
Moore
The
and
two Roger.
Brosnan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Living Daylights and License to
Goldeneye, I
Kill.
think, is like the perfect balance of the silly
And the
aspects of
serious.
Bond
Yeah.
and the more gritty, grounded
Yes.
parts of Bond. I mean, just some of the action scenes in that are just incredible. Like the first thing you see in the movie is Bond jumping off the dam,
Right.
Yep.
and one of the coolest stunts ever performed. So, yeah,
I cannot wait to do our Bond episode. I'm really curious to hear
I'm
the
gonna have to
rankings.
power through all the Bond movies.
Yeah. If they're not streaming anywhere, I have the complete Blu-ray collection.
I borrowed it from my dad.
Okay.
My dad has it too. So
So John, if they're not streaming anywhere that you have, I have the whole Blu-ray set.
Okay.
I think I'm just going to get MGM Plus.
Okay, are they on there?
For how long? More than likely, right?
I'd assume so. There's 25 of them
they
total,
have to
though.
be.
Yeah.
Or they're on
I don't think
Prime.
all of them are on MGM Plus though.
I was gonna say some of them might be, but I don't think.
Well,
the
yeah,
newer ones
I don't
might
think
be.
they're all on there,
Right.
but I can probably find
Now-
most of them elsewhere.
Yeah.
Some of them, even though they
Right,
might
no.
have James Bond in them with the same actors,
Never say never again.
I
Yeah,
don't want to talk
Yeah,
about that.
those aren't official
Me neither.
story.
And there's also before the Sean, or maybe some during the time of when Sean Connery got started, Peter Sellers, I think, was James Bond.
Talking
in a
about
few movies.
Majesty's Secret Service?
No, that's a different one.
No,
that's
that's
George Lazenby.
Casino
George
Royale,
Lazenby,
the
yeah.
parody
No,
of
that's
the James Bond.
That isn't. I consider that an official Bond movie.
Yeah, George Lazenby played him in that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Casino Royale movie that has Peter Sellers in it.
Yeah, that and Honor Majesty, not Honor. That and Never
This
Say Never
has,
Again are not official.
Yep.
It's
exactly.
actually Peter Sellers isn't actually, he's not playing James Bond. That's David Niven.
Those
Oh,
are more like parody movies. They're not actually.
I'm
no,
James
this
sorry.
came
Bond.
out actually 5 years after Doctor No, which
Yeah.
is interesting.
Whoops.
But they were both considered parody movies. They're not
Yeah,
official James
yeah.
Bond movies. But yeah, that was 90s blockbusters.
Wow.
Whoa.
One hell of a road.
Yeah, we talked for that quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yep. But I didn't know that anybody else wanted to say before I say something.
Oh, you got something else to say?
All I can say is thank you for watching. We hope
yep.
we hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go check out our Facebook page, our Twitter page, our Instagram page for any podcast availability.
Make sure to leave feedback, good or bad.
Yep.
We really do appreciate both.
Yes.
Remember, you have to be subscribed to the YouTube channel if you want to be entered to win a First Harvest DVD.
Signed.
Yeah, and
There's a
and
storm
I
coming.
I don't think I'll be
There's a
there.
storm
I don't think I'll be there in
coming.
person for the podcast for next week because I gotta get up really early next Sunday to get ready for a big thing that's coming up real soon. What I guys
Yeah.
talked about. So I might join in by phone conversation. So we'll see how it goes. Dylan's
I might
like shaking his head.
also.
Well, I was going to make a comment, but
Okay.
I figured that you wouldn't take it as a joke.
What's
so.
the main topic
Okay.
for next week?
Next week will be the classic horror movies. I
Oh
believe.
yeah, that's right.
And then reminder on the trivia.
2020 horror movies.
Okay. I need that.
Well, gee, that'll be hard.
So we got like 7 choices.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Knowing Matthew, he'll make it something impossible.
No, absolutely. Holy
Like
crap.
something like no one has even heard of.
It's not going to be Scream.
Who was the background character that was 500 feet away from the camera that was in a huge
It's gonna
movie
be.
prior?
I bet it's gonna be like
Back to the camera the
I
entire
know at least
time.
3 of us have seen it.
Okay.
So I'm not saying what.
Okay.
I'm not going to
cool.
slip up and give a clue again.
Damn it! That's my only shot now.
I'm
But,
assuming John has not seen it.
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, so now we have to figure out which.
Who
one
else
of the-
hasn't
Crap,
seen
John
it?
has seen some horror movies. Crap.
Who
yeah,
hasn't?
exactly.
I'm not saying anything
I
else. I'm
see
shut up.
screaming aliens, dude. But anyway,
Alien didn't come out in the 2020s.
I was
The
talking
last one
about.
was
I was talking about
2017.
certain
Horror
horror
movies in
movies.
general.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm probably the one who hasn't seen that. Who hasn't?
I'm
seen
not
the
saying
answer.
anything else.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm probably the
Say
one who
it.
hasn't
I'm
out
not
of the
saying anything else.
four of us.
If it was a horror movie that released in, like a, is it? Would you consider it more like mainstream or indie?
It's in a mainstream.
Okay, then odds are I've fucking seen it. So.
All right. But anyway, we're about to start our Furiosa recording to talk about the movie for that one as well. So
Yeah, please make sure to check out our channel for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But yeah, a couple giveaways and everything in between. So I guess we'll see you all next time for our next episode.
Yep.
Yeah,
see you next time. We have our Furiosa episode coming up, and also we're doing a lot of shorter episodes on indie films.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next time.
God
See you
bless
next
you.
time.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
We have been the Cinema Asylum Podcast. You guys were awesome. Thanks for coming out. Good night.